Who are you?
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Wait a minute. I know you.
You got the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
I know that, dude.
He's a modern-day Yoda.
I'm your huckleberry.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Greetings and salutations.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
You're excited. Feel these nipples.
That boy's good. Good and terrible.
Well, I have a microphone, and you don't.
So you will listen to every damn word I have to say!
This is the Mike Rutherford Show on the Big X.
Sportos, motorheads, geek bloods, wastoids, dweebies, they all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
The Mike Rutherford Show, presented by United Mechanical, your trusted partner for commercial and industrial HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and refrigeration. Call United Mechanical at 502-339-1133.
Well, I'll stand up next to a mountain. I'll chop it down with the edge of my hand.
All right. Welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday, August 26th. This is the Mike Rutherford Show. We're coming to you live from the world-famous University of Louisville College of Business Studios here in the heart of lovely Louisville, Kentucky. Cards fans, you can take accounting to a whole new level with U of L's Masters in Accounting and Analytics. In-depth data analytics course allow you to achieve a new mastery of accounting in this AACSB accredited program. 11-month competitive internship opportunities and full access to the Becker CPA exam review. Prepare to graduate career ready in only 12 months. Visit business.louisville.edu to find out more. We are on the air today from 2:33 until 5:30 here on 1450 AM, 96.1 FM. We are streaming across the land, including on the Thornton's Big X YouTube Louisville radio stream. We are airing live on WBNA Channel 21. You know us better as the Big X. Mike Rutherford, Trevor Kelsey here with you on a hump day edition of the Mike Rutherford Show. We can say this now officially. It's the last day before the start of the college football season. No, there are no FBS games tomorrow, but there are 4 FCS games tomorrow, and frankly, that's good enough for me, especially after all the BS going on in the world right now as far as who's eligible, who's not eligible, what lawsuits are coming, what lawsuits aren't coming. I've never been more eager to get to actual games, and I assume that all of you listening, or the vast majority of you listening, are in the exact same boat. So, yeah, maybe I'll tune into a little Youngstown State Mercyhurst tomorrow night. No shame in that whatsoever. We've got we do have legal proceedings to get to once again today. It's the Mike Rutherford Memorial Law School hour of radio. That's what we'll do. Shout out to the 2010 and 2011 1 year of law school year. Never to be forgotten around the Brandeis community. We can we'll share some thoughts on that front. What's up with Louisville? What's up with these rulings? When are we going to hear something from the ACC? Is Jim Phillips actually dead? We'll talk about all those types of things. We've also got a little bit of noteworthy news. We now know officially that D'Angelo Hutchinson is, in fact, going where we kind of told you he was probably going to go on yesterday's show. We can react to that a little bit as well. We've got 11 days until kickoff. I'm efforting to get some Ole Miss folks on the show, and as of right now, just not responding to DMs. So I may need Trevor Kelsey on that. I may need to bring in the enforcer and say, hey, get your ass on the show. Talk some Ole Miss football. I don't care what Lane Kiffin is doing. It's time to talk a little cards. But we can start to dive in a little bit more on the actual game that's going to be played in a week and a half. We've got Gameday Mens Health text line, which is now open at 502-414-1450. We've got your comments on the Thornton's YouTube stream as well. Already have a handful of those. We've got Trevor Kelsey. If I give him a follow on Twitter, at Trevor Kelsey. TK, how we feeling?
Not too bad. How you today, buddy?
I'm feeling good.
Feeling spry?
I mean, spry, not so much, but...
Did you have a good day today? A lot going on in the Rutherford bunch?
Not a ton. Pretty standard. Took the kids to school. Picked the kids up from school, at least the one that is out of school right now.
Yeah.
Had some had some calls, did some app stuff, did some work stuff, and here I am now.
Do I need to put on my big boy producer pants and get you an Ole Miss guest?
I wouldn't hate it. I've tried. I'm hoping that people are just not
Does
responding.
Marshall Henderson count?
I would love to have Marshall Henderson on.
To either.
Well, I texted you today.
Yeah, I saw it. I meant to reply. I got that as I woke up. I read it, and then the very next text I read was from Scoot saying, "Can you get here and do the last 15 minutes of the Hoosier Report for me?" And I'm like,
"Oh no!"
I looked at that. I looked at my phone, and I was like, "It's 11:15 already." I was like, "I'm just waking up." Like, I don't know if I can physically get there. I did give him a little out early. I got here at like 10 till. So
what's wrong with Scoots?
He just said he had a bunch of stuff today and wanted to try to get a head start. I guess he needed to.
I mean, can you be a little bit more specific, Scoots? I got a bunch of stuff to do.
He said he had to do like cut some stuff for someone else, and he had to do like something about some play-by-play or something. He had to.
Jesus Christ! I mean, the Southern Indiana middle school game that you're calling, Scoots, can wait. You don't need to be preparing. You got 2 days to get ready for this.
Personally, I think there might be a beef between him and Dennison.
Oh, really?
And he just doesn't want to. Yeah, I think he's angered because he doesn't feel Dennison is a real IU fan.
Why does he say that?
I don't know. And he
Scoot's the one who said he didn't care about football 3 years ago.
Yeah, so Scoot. I think there's a real beef, and he was just like, you know what? I just can't take listening to Matthew anymore, which I like Matthew, so I don't mind listening. And he's like, so can you come in early so I can I just can't do it. I have to leave.
Well, I like that we have beef in the studio, even if it's just completely manufactured.
I wish there was some beef in here. I'm kind of hungry.
That's great. Yeah, I did send you, every now and then I get, like I said before, I don't know how I get signed up on some of these email distribution lists. Like, if there's the World Wildlife Foundation has a press release, somehow I get that. Somehow I get like the Secretary of War, press releases now go to me. But every now and then you'll get the token releases of, hey, I work with so and so, and if you're
a PR move, yeah,
exactly. Like, the mass emails that go out to, I guess, anybody who's on this media distribution list across the country that says, would love to have, if you're interested in speaking with so and so, come on. And of course, you can ask them questions about whatever sport they're covering, and then you have like 5 questions about whatever product that they're hawking. And so this one was for Jay Paterno.
Did you ever take advantage of those? I got to interview Kurt Schilling on one of those.
Oh, I back in the day, yeah. It was only if I thought the person was cool. Like I did Kirk Herbstreit. I did Kenny Mayne back in the day. I think
guys that you wouldn't ever get unless they were trying to promote something.
Right. I mean, it was when I first started the blog, and it was this is like 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
And so it was a big deal back in the day to have like Kenny Mayne on talking horse racing, and then you'd ask the one requisite question. I remember I did it one time with, I think it was Reese Davis, and everybody else I would be like, I want you to go ahead and get the media question out of the way first, like the PR question out of the way first. And I was like, let's just go ahead and get this question done with first. And he was like, who is this guy? He's like, what are you talking about? And then he was fine after that, but I was like, no, come on.
One of the favorites I did was I mentioned.
Can I finish the story real quick?
I just want to say this because I did Michael Irvin, and we were supposed to do like 10 minutes. He ended up staying on 25 minutes with me.
That's cool.
And then I wish I'd had his. I mean, I felt like we were almost buddies at the end of it.
That's very cool. But so this one was for Jay Paterno, and they had a list of topics that he would be interested in discussing, and it was college football previews and a handful of things about Penn State, and this was it. National title contenders, teams taking the next step, the 2026 Penn State Nittany Lions, the Protect College Sports Act, and then Nittany Game Week, the Penn State pregame show that he's going to be on. And all I could think of was, we could make a national splash if we had Jay Paterno on, and then we just asked him about the Penn State rape scandal.
Oh, you could even just bring up the cocaine stuff at this point and maybe get a national.
Oh, that would be a good idea too.
I mean, you could do either one and probably get picked up somewhere.
How do you think this compares to what your father went through back in whatever?
Do you feel you could have gotten through the Sandusky experiment easier if you'd had the cocaine available?
See, that's right there. That's what we could make headlines.
What do you think made more profit?
But we're not going to do that. So Jay Paterno probably not going to be in the show. Probably not. How was the Tuesday night, buddy? How we feeling as we dive into this halfway point of the last week without real Louisville football?
My body is prepared for football season. I am feeling as good as I felt in weeks.
Really?
No groin issue when I woke up. Was walking through the crutches down, just threw them away. I didn't throw them away because they're like 80 years old and it's the only ones I have. So I threw them in the closet. I'm cheap. I'm not gonna buy new crutches. And the arm's a little tingly still, but I got almost extend it completely. There's no real pain, just a little discomfort because it's hard to not use your right arm at all for weeks to get it to heal perfectly.
I can imagine.
So yeah, I'm good, man. Last night was a fun night. I went through a Western phase, watched a little Young Guns 2, followed by True Grit.
Okay.
Then played
the early one or the remake?
The remake.
Okay.
And then that was like, man, I kind of want to play some RDR too. So I went online, played a little Red Dead Redemption, did a little mayhem out in Tumbleweed. So yeah, it was all in all a good night in Kelsey Manor. How was the Rutherford bunch? How was the household rolling?
It's pretty standard.
Pretty standard?
Standard. You just
would I be considered standard? What I just described?
Yeah, for sure. It was got the kids down. Yeah. Mary had some parents' night out thing for a quick dinner, so got the kids down myself, and then she was back like right when that was over. We hung out a little bit.
Timing.
So what?
It's a good timing for that.
Yeah. She's right there, but they were good. They're at the point now where the routines are so exhausting that they're pretty easy at the end of the night. They're just like they're ready for bed. Are
your kids? Are they good go to bedders? Because I was horrible at that.
They are. I mean, to the point where like they won't do it themselves. Like we have to put them to bed every night.
Okay, so you got to remind them at least.
No, we have like the full routine where one of us, we kind of alternate nights. One of us reads, and then they fall asleep in the same bed, and then we move them when we're ready.
What is bedtime?
And we try to get them down like around 8:30. Usually we're up there by 8, and then I feel like I'm walking out of there on a good night right before 9. So that's what we're doing. I mean, Virginia gets up really early, so any later would be terrible.
Were you a go to bed on time type person, or?
I never like fought it. I just was always a night owl.
But you kind of like me. You would just lay in bed awake for hours. It felt like sometimes
because I think I got a TV in my room when I was like in 7th or 8th grade. One of those basic tiny, like I had basic cable and that was it. And so at that age, I could like watch the local news or Letterman or something when I got that. But when you're in 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and you're kind of like a kid that struggles to fall asleep, just like I'm lying there. I'm doing nothing. I'm just staring. I'm having deep thoughts or whatever. And that was terrible. That was tough growing up.
See, I'm the same way, but I was a little fortunate because I grew up with grandparents, and my grandmother and grandpa both were very loud snorers and heavy sleepers. So as soon as I heard that, like I was like free to like sneak out my room, get to the den, and start watching like the West Coast feed of TNT or whatever. That's watching the Blazers and Lakers or whatever late night game with a little Rhonda up all night on USA maybe.
Nice.
So yeah, and then I'd know to be in bed by like at least 2 though, because then the morning would come and I was not very happy.
Nice. We have a little bit of news to start the show today, and that is the announcing of 3 new members of the U of L men's basketball coaching staff. These are player development coaches. Charlie Champagne, Kyle Zunick, and then Carlos Dotson is the name of the coach who is apparently joining the staff to replace Peyton Siva. He's not joining as a full-time assistant. I'm guessing we're not bringing in another full-time assistant. But Carlos Dotson, he was a good player at Western Carolina back in the day. They had good teams. I think one of them maybe played in the NCAA tournament in his, I guess, junior or senior year. Had a cup of coffee in the professional world, played, I think, 2 years of pro basketball before coming back and getting into coaching. Coached at Clemson. I'm assuming that's where the connection is with Sean Dixon. I always want to say, is it Eric Dixon? I always say the wrong one. I believe it's Sean Dixon. But I always say Eric. Anyway, I think that's where the connection comes from. He worked for the Hornets as a video coordinator for a year, worked with the Clippers as a PDC, and then was at UCF last season as an assistant. He now is joining the staff for this upcoming season. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I've heard great things about Carlos Dotson as a coach. I haven't heard anything about Carlos Dotson as a coach. Hopefully, this is a move that pays off. Charlie Champagne, Kyle Zunick, can't give you anything there, but cool. I'm seeing the tweets from other coaches, other members of the basketball program saying these are 3 world-class human beings. So I'm choosing to go with that. They look good in their polos on their headshots, Trev. That's all I can say.
Well, we had Jacob Polachek on the KRC today, and he had to leave in the middle of the show because he had some work to do. Well, I guess we know what his work he was doing.
I don't know if that's would that be big enough for Polachek to skip out on KRC?
I'm starting to wonder now if maybe it was enough. Maybe we should have kept him. By the way, I don't know if this is you were talking about connection. He played it 2 years at Western Carolina under Mark Prosser, son of Skip.
I
think that might be where our
that's
connection
probably.
might be, yeah.
I think that's probably. I think you're probably right.
I could, yeah, it's a hunch, but I think that might be where more of the connection is. They weren't very good, by the way. They went 19-12 his senior year.
That's not terrible.
No, they didn't make the tournament, but yeah, not
1912 Western Carolina's nothing to roll your eyes at.
Man, his stats were solid as I'm looking at them right now, 13-15.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're right. I don't know anything about other than what we just told everyone else.
Peyton Siva has weighed in and just said some studs. And then I just responded with the Mean Girls, you can't sit with us gift. I'm going to hold this against him for a while.
Hopefully this will work out. I mean, like I said, it's hope spring's eternal. Isn't that what they say? So let's go with that. Let's be positive with the mystery of things.
The problem right now with trying to outline a afternoon radio show is that something is happening every 15 minutes that changes what we're talking about. So I was going to get into
we had 3 breaking news yesterday.
I mean, I feel like we're kind of having that happen now. I was going to get into the SEC stuff where, they created punishments for any school that goes against their new rule of you can't bring in players that have signed a professional contract or whatever, which broke conveniently right after our show yesterday. And one of the big things about the ruling was you had the presidents of the 16 SEC schools all being in unanimity. 16-0 was the initial vote on this. We're now getting breaking news from On3 that LSU has now abstained from Wednesday's 15-0 SEC president's vote to confirm the penalties. So,
what a shock! That's LSU's the one that pulled away. Oh, really?
I mean, I think everybody was like,
really?
Everybody was like, damn, they're going against their own coaches because LSU's got players across the board. Like Will Wade may not be able to have a team if this rule is actually implemented this season, and now the LSU president appears to be backing off of his initial tough stance. And
what was he thinking the first time?
Well, I was hoping he was going to be selfless, like we talked about yesterday, and do it for the betterment of college sports. And now he's like, "Yeah, we're not going to do that."
Did he send a proxy and forgot what this vote was about? I mean,
I don't know. We're still going to get into that after the break. We'll talk. We'll talk about what the ACC may do, what this rule means, what all this stuff is happening. Did want to follow up on.
So the Big Ten and the SEC are the only two that have come out publicly with
and made the official rule.
Made the official rules, which is the whole 50% season, blah blah blah.
Right. So I mean, yesterday we talked about the Big Ten's rule, which pertained only to football, and we were like, oh, the SEC all they're doing is a strongly worded statement and all of this stuff. And then right as the show ends, the SEC actually takes it a step farther and says, look, basketball, football. If you've signed any sort of pro contract, if you've gone through any sort of pro thing, you can't play with us. You're out. You're done. And then they came out with the actual rule that said anybody who plays a player who violates this criteria will receive a 50% season suspension for all the head coaches. You got to miss half the year. 50% of that sport's annual operating budget is gone.
That's a lot.
And your voting privileges on business matters have been revoked within the conference. So, yeah, I mean, they are, because everybody knows that you could technically go to court in these cases, and we found out over the years that you're probably going to win.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to hit it. They're not saying, well, we're going to not let you play in the games or we're going to ban that player. They know where the real place to hit in college athletics is, and it's the pocketbooks of the programs and the head coaches themselves. And so I think that was actually a great move by the SEC. And initially you have a 16-0 vote where everybody's like, all right, we're joining, we're holding hands, we're singing Kumbaya, we're in this thing together. And then LSU's coaches, I guess, went to the president and said, look, we kind of need these guys more than everybody else. So we may need you to back off that a little bit. And we'll see what happens at this point. But
they have the most. I was not alone. Mark Mitchell's involved in this.
Well, it was crazy to watch how everything played out yesterday, because you're realizing how little everybody knows about the particulars of all these players. Because initially the rule comes out about, you can't have signed any sort of professional contract. You can't have been draft eligible. You can't have been on the draft list and come back. And so the initial ruling is R.J. Lewis, who had just hours earlier been declared eligible, is now ineligible. But people were also saying Mark Mitchell is ineligible. And Kentucky fans are like, oh, my God. And there are other players. And then it becomes this huge deal where the talk of the college basketball world is, did he or did he not sign an Exhibit 10 contract?
But he was also drafted, whether he did or not, he was draft eligible under that rule, right?
He was draft eligible, but you are automatically draft eligible if your eligibility is exhausted. You know, he was a 4-4 guy. He had 4 years, played 4 seasons, so it wasn't like he was the draft withdrawal stuff is for underclassmen. He was automatically draft eligible like every senior is.
Okay.
So the big question became, did he sign the Exhibit 10 contract or did he not sign the Exhibit 10 contract? And the problem here is, for us, I guess, that are trying to figure this out from the outside looking in, if you just Google Mark Mitchell Exhibit 10 contract, there are like 55 stories that are all saying the same thing, where it's Mark Mitchell signed an Exhibit 10 contract with what I think was the Miami Heat. And there are tweets everywhere. Mitchell signs Exhibit 10 contract. It's not like when you write those stories or you send those tweets, you have a copy of the signed contract in front of you, and you're attaching it to your tweets, or you're throwing it in your news stories. So Mitchell then, through his agent, gets to the college basketball media members that are at the forefront of this whole thing and tells them, no, he actually didn't sign it. Didn't sign the Exhibit 10 contract, played in the summer league without signing the contract like so many other players did. All of those stories were just referring to him playing under the umbrella of an Exhibit 10 contract.
That or they were hacked.
I mean, so like it becomes do you have to try to track down that document? Can you just take the player's word for it? Because every player, and look, we did the same thing with Seth Trimble, because if you went to Seth Trimble Exhibit 10 contract on Google, the Google AI response, which is wrong 87% of the time, says, yes, Seth Trimble signed an Exhibit 10 contract with, again, whatever team he played for in the summer league. And then his people are like, well, he didn't actually sign it. He played under the understanding of being on an Exhibit 10 contract, but no piece of paper was actually signed. And every single other player that was on E10s, besides Milos Uzan, says we didn't sign anything, just to try to cover all their bases in the event that something like this did wind up happening. Now, I wonder, like, who the hell is Milos Uzan's agent? Like, what are you thinking? I mean, I guess because he was sort of a surprise undrafted guy, so maybe he kind of knew he was going to get a pro contract, or maybe he just did not care about coming back to college. But he's the one guy I was like, could you not just lie like everybody else, or have a better agent who knows that you shouldn't sign anything in this day and age unless it's an actual guaranteed contract with guaranteed money? So who knows? But I think, unless we've heard anything else, that Mark Mitchell is eligible for Kentucky, right? Is that the understanding?
I don't know.
It'll probably change 5 times before we get to the end of the show.
You're asking me a question I have an answer to, and then when here I have another question I don't think you have an answer to. But
I can't answer anything anymore, Trev.
Because I'm curious. Like, maybe I'm wrong, and I usually am. But like, if you don't sign the contract, you don't get paid, right?
I mean, do people? So if do you get paid at all under an Exhibit 10 contract?
I mean, I would think you would get something, right, to try. I mean, you're trying out. I mean, it would compensate you in some way, right? So if that's
I've never played an NBA,
nor have I.
Apparently, it pays a 1-year NBA minimum salary, but the money is not guaranteed unless specific conditions are met.
Okay, so therefore, yeah. So I mean, you have an agent, so it shouldn't be that hard to follow some kind of transaction. Paperwork to see if someone signed a contract, right? There should be records, like public records.
So it says a player can sign, you can sign a bonus with an Exhibit 10 contract of up to $50,000, but I'm assuming that.
So if you don't sign this,
there doesn't have to be any bonus whatsoever.
So if you don't sign this contract, you're just basically trying out for free.
Which I think happens with a lot of players. Like when you think about Summer League, remember Rain Smith 2 years ago when he was in Summer League and he played a game for a certain team, and then later that day, one of the teams didn't have enough players, so he just played for them too. I'm assuming there wasn't a lot of contractual stuff that went into that deal. Like, I don't think they had to negotiate the terms. I think it was just, hey, I'm in the building. I'm trying to do whatever I can to get on the NBA's radar. I'll play in the game. I think that's the deal with a lot of the guys that aren't playing a ton of minutes in summer league.
But I think, and no disrespect to Rain Smith, but I would think if you're an NBA team, you don't want to do that with a guy like Mark Mitchell who could turn out to be good, and then you just don't even get to keep him on your summer because you didn't sign him to an exhibit any kind of contract.
Yeah, I get the sense that the guys that are doing this are players that are not expected to make NBA rosters, like the guys that we're seeing come back to college. You know,
I mean, Mitchell, though, you would thought would. I guess he probably.
I don't think he had much of a chance.
I don't. Maybe
he's the classic good college player, but he's 6'9" without the skill set to be a 6'9" guy in the NBA. So I think that he was probably, destined for G League at best. I just feel like it can't be that hard to there's got to be a paper trail somewhere. I mean, do I have to get Lester on this from the pawn shop department and get him out of here? Not if he didn't sign anything.
I mean,
there is no paper.
Follow the money, Lester. Come on, guys.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we can dive deeper into this SEC Big Ten ruling, what the ACC is supposed to be doing today, and what might not happen. We've also got some hodgepodge stories to get to, and then we'll talk a little bit about D'Angelo Hutchinson reuniting with an old friend / foe and how that may go. It's the Mike Rutherford Show. 3 o'clock hour next, 1450, 96.1, Big X Sports Radio.
John Spears for M&M Cartage. You see those trucks riding down the road with the M&M Cartage sign? You could be a driver or work as a mechanic on one of those trucks. For 45 years, M&M Cartage has been a locally family-owned transportation company, and they're currently hiring those drivers and mechanics. To join their team, go online to mmcartage.com to apply. Headquartered in Louisville with locations in Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Morristown, Tennessee, and Detroit. That's mmcartage.com to apply.
Guns, gears, and great deals. Say it with me. Everything concealed carry. With over 1,000 firearms in stock, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Shop SIG, Smith & Wesson, HK, Glock, and more. Plus the best selection of used guns in Louisville. Looking for premium? Check out Kimber, Dan Wesson at Wilson Combat. We pay cash for guns, and we always have specials. Visit Everything Concealed Carry, 10306 Taylorsville Road in the heart of J-Town. Everything Concealed Carry, your best shot at a great deal.
Options. When it comes to insurance, that's exactly what you deserve. I'm Chad Hennessy with InsureMax, and I've been proudly serving the Louisville area for over 25 years. As an independent agent, we work with auto owners insurance to find coverage that fits you, not the other way around. InsureMax delivers strength, service, and peace of mind through partners like Auto Owners Insurance. More choices, more options. Call me, Chad Hennessy, at 502-479-4085.
Defining a new era in men's health, Gameday Men's Health delivers real results. No shortcuts. From testosterone replacement, weight loss, to peptides, vitamins, and sexual performance therapy, they will have you covered. From their in-house lab that gives you answers in just 15 minutes in our clinic that is designed for men who value speed, privacy, and most importantly, results. Visit GamedayMensHealth.com. Real men, real science, real change. Visit GamedayMensHealth.com.
Attention Hoosier sports fans, a critical shortage of referees is affecting high school sports all across our state.
Without enough officials, JV and freshman games are being rescheduled or canceled. Even varsity sports like softball and soccer are being impacted.
Without officials, student athletes miss the opportunity to learn and grow. Schools don't get the chance to compete. Communities don't have a place to gather as one. That's why we need your help. I'm Brian Lewis, Assistant Commissioner of the IHSAA, and I oversee contest officials in Indiana.
And I'm Dion Smith. I've been officiating high school sports for the IHSA for over 17 years. Without officials, there are no high school sports, period.
Fans, this is it. It's your time to get off the bench and get in the game. Visit IHSAA.org and click Become an Official to get started.
Our Hoosier community needs you. Support high school sports in your community by becoming an official. Visit the IHSA.org and click Become an Official today.
Roosters is the place to watch your favorite teams play. From college to the pros, Roosters has all the games. Plus, you're gonna love the food at Roosters. Come watch the games and enjoy 79-cent boneless wings every Monday. Roosters with 6 Kentuckiana locations: Dixie Highway, Preston Highway, Fern Creek, Shelbyville Road, Springhurst, and in Clarksville.
This is Dugan Ryan. I would love the opportunity to talk with you about how we can help grow your business and have your business's brand associated with Big X Sports Radio. Give me a call today at 812-725-1457.
Increasing amounts of sunshine after a cloudy start to the day and could run into a few sprinkles mainly west of I-65, but most of you are going to stay dry and it will warm fast with a high of about 86 to 87. For tonight, actually carries our most impressive rain chance we're going to have for the next 10 days. It'll happen during the overnight hours. A few thunderstorms will be possible. For the Wave Storm Tracking Team, I'm Brian Good.
This is Kentuckiana's only locally owned sports talk, The Big X, AM 1450 and 96.1 FM, WXVW Jeffersonville.
We both are so excited cause we're reunited.
Hey, hey. 3 o'clock hour. Rutherford Show. Trevor Kelsey in the house. Is this about D'Angelo Hutchinson?
I just picture him and Sat like just playing this song as his guys are coming into the workout place together, and they just embrace and hug right when he goes, hey, hey.
Look, if D'Angelo Hutchinson, and I don't know the full story here, the thing that's kind of floating around is that D'Angelo Hutchinson, who was not just a starter last year, but one of our better defensive players overall, second leading tackler, made some big plays. He kind of waltzed back into practice, was not practicing with the team, but was there, had rejoined kind of team activities, if you want to phrase it that way. And again, the story is that he was a little bit upset that he wasn't going to be just handed a starting spot. Despite the fact that he's been gone from the program for 8 months, you've had new safeties battling, I think, to get that spot alongside Cohen Entringer since spring practice. Fall camp is nearing an end now. They're transitioning into Ole Miss prep and all this stuff. I don't know in what world you think you can just walk back into after all of that and just be like, hey, yeah, hell yeah, this is our starting safety. Let's go. But I'm kind of told that was maybe what was going on here. Don't have that on high authority, but that's sort of the buzz that's out there. Whatever. If that's your MO, if that's your mentality, fine. But to then choose to walk away and go to Cincinnati.
Well, he wants to start right away. What better place than the 70th listed program in the country?
Cool, I guess. If I were him and I were coming back for one last, this is, you had the chance to be drafted. You had the chance to be on an NFL roster. None of that happened for you after your senior season, one in which you put up very good stats. You kind of can see the writing on the wall that this is it for your playing career. I would want to be, whether I'm playing a ton or playing a little, I'd want to be on a winner. I'd want to be playing as long as I can. I would go to a program where I'm going to have fun and also win at a high level. I can't imagine you're going to be having fun or winning at a high level up the road. I mean, they may fire Satterfield before the season even ends.
With the way you described it, though, the only exception I would say is with that scenario, and you're right, is if Cincinnati offered me just more money.
Yeah.
And I want to have fun too. I agree. With all the thing you just said, but
this is your last chance to earn
playing a game. Money for to go start selling insurance or real estate.
I can buy that.
Now, if it's depending on how much, if we're talking like, $500 difference, I'm probably staying a little for the fun part. But if we're talking
like $100K,
yeah,
I would probably bounce.
I'd rather be miserable and make that and save it.
But, look,
I don't know if I doubt he's. I wouldn't be shocked if they wouldn't give him more money. I can't imagine it being a whole lot more, but I could be wrong.
If I were going to Cincinnati, I'd be like, I don't care if I'm a backup. Just let me. I'm just trying to get this money. I'd prefer not to play at this point.
Really, yeah.
Just avoid injury here, and I can start my second life after this. Let's just get through, like November, and we're done. We're not going to a playoff. I'm not.
For all I know, I might be able to sue again and get another year.
Who knows at this point? But there it is. D'Angelo Hutchinson going to Cincinnati. What are you going to do?
It's funny. So I played that. You know who sings that song?
I don't think I know off the top of my head.
It's Peaches and Herb. And
No,
at the break,
would never have guessed that.
And it's just a funny connection because during the commercial break, I had a peach in the studio.
Peaches.
It was a good peach. It was so juicy. I had to go through 3 napkins.
Okay, I didn't need to.
It was. I'm just like.
I didn't need to know that.
I'm giving props to the Kroger brand peach.
I don't like the visual there. We had more sad news today. This has been a rough week when it comes to celebrity deaths.
They come in threes.
And it's been a rough year when it comes to the cast of Home Alone 2. We lost Tim Curry today, who was, I think, the consummate. The name may not ring a bell for you, but when you see them, you're like, oh, that guy.
That would be you because I referenced him like 2 weeks ago, and you were like, who is that?
There you go.
So, yes, I think that.
I mean, I think even today when I saw the news that he was passing, I was like, who again? Like, why are we all? And then I was like, oh, my God. So Tim Curry, I think very well known for kind of character roles. When we were growing up in various movies,
yeah,
he was in Home Alone 2. He was the concierge. He was in.
He makes that smile like the Grinch that I was referencing. Yeah,
a lot of people apparently know him from Clue, the movie.
Clue. Have you?
I've never seen it, but I saw a lot of people talking about it today.
I loved Clue as a kid.
He was also in Rocky Horror Picture Show, and then maybe the one thing that I would have known him most for, but that I couldn't associate him with because he doesn't look like himself, was he was Pennywise in the original It TV series back in 1990, which was terrifying to me as a kid, but I still loved it. There's a great picture of him going around today where he's on set in full costume, full makeup, clearly not in the middle of a scene because he's holding an umbrella and smoking a cigarette, which is just a very, very cool picture. But he also did a lot of voice work on movies and shows that you and I watched growing up. Fern Gully, Muppet Treasure Island, did a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, it's now the third actor from Home Alone 2 that we've lost this year. Remember, we lost Catherine O'Hara, which was a big deal. We lost the woman who played the Pigeon Lady. We talked about that on the show.
Oh, yeah.
And that was fairly recent.
It was.
And then now we've lost Tim Curry. It's going to be that rewatch coming up in around Christmas time. It's going to be a little bit sad, a little heavy this year.
Can someone check on Buzz, make sure he's okay? I mean,
boy, are you going to feel bad if he's already dead?
He's not. He was in an SVU not too long ago, I think.
How would you possibly know that?
Because I remember it was creepy. I'm like, that's the guy that used to play Buzz. I would say Tim Curry, I do love. I know this is a weird reference to. Is he also played Dale the Whale? He debuted as Dale the Whale in the show Monk, and then they replaced him with somebody else.
God, you love Monk.
I do love Monk.
You love Monk.
Who doesn't love Monk? If you've never seen Monk, you have no reason not to love it.
I mean, I'm indifferent on Monk. Never seen it.
Yeah, okay. Tony Shalhoub, such an underrated actor. But Clue is by far I know Home Alone 2 might be his most famous because it's Home Alone 2, but Clue was my favorite. Clue is such an underrated movie. It's
a lot of people have been saying that today. I never saw it. It was never really on my radar.
It's not for everyone. It's kind of one of those movies you almost either do love it or you hate it because it is kind of weird. But it's as a kid, maybe I should rewatch it because I haven't seen it probably since I was 90s, in the 90s. I'm not my 90s, but I loved it as a child. And one of my buddies, it's like his favorite movie. I know that.
There you go. A couple other things to get to. It's a little bit of a hodgepodge segment here. We got a handful of topics going around. One thing that came out today that I think is interesting, and it's especially to us on the show, because whenever we do those rewatches, which I get that we did not get to this summer.
I watched the Miami game over.
I mean, late, but yeah. We always talk about how funny it is to go back and watch games from 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 15 years ago, and look at what was happening on the bottom line ticker. ESPN is doing away with the bottom line ticker now. They're saying that people have been asking for this.
Who?
And it's too easy to find scores now. Nobody needs that anymore. So they're doing away with it, which, of course, it's just going to be like one gigantic Pat McAfee show promo now that's there instead of the actual scores of the news that's flashing.
Oh, so they're not even taking away the ticker. They're just taking scores off of it.
I don't know. I'm just making a joke.
You're probably. I'm
assuming they'll have promotional stuff down there instead of actual scores and people and things that people are semi-interested in. But I don't think that I still feel like there's a practical purpose for the ticker. I don't think it's just nostalgia that has me being like, really? Why are we doing this? I mean, you can't be, if you're watching the actual game, if you're an active watcher of a game, you can't just be constantly looking at your phone to check the scores of other games. Like, you need that casual glance between plays at the ticker to see what's going on across the country.
I like I love the ticker. Like, I mean, I think it's ridiculous. This is one of the worst ideas ESPN's come up with, and I hope to think they realize it sooner than later and re-add it, or like you said, they'll probably just keep it on there and put Pat McAfee space scrolling constantly. I think I don't know if Peak said it. I don't know if he read this or was it an opinion, but
I think Peak left a charger in there.
He probably did. He's been doing some audio
charger, and I think he left some water in here.
He didn't leave his medicine, did he?
No medicine today. I would have sent him a message.
Text on that. He said something like, I guess I don't know if he read this or this is just a theory of his. Either way, is that like they want to get rid of it because the theory of someone seeing a score in another game go across and want to change the channel to said game. I mean, I don't know how that would be an issue, but I guess I guess that could be a concern. I don't think it's one to completely remove. I feel like this is their way of like firing somebody who updates these tickers without actually firing them.
I think they just want to create space. I mean, Tom Fornelli, he is responding to people right now. It just popped up on my timeline.
Okay.
If you still need the bottom line score ticker to know what's going on in other games in the year 2026, that's a you problem. It's been obsolete for damn near a decade now. There are a billion apps that tell you scores. I mean,
you know what I'd say?
It's true.
If I want to watch sports and I don't watch ESPN, because it's a you problem because your station sucks.
Well, he's CBS, so
they too. I don't know. Actually, I like CBS. Ticks me off a little bit.
I guess I understand the rationale, but it still feels like this is kind of a misguided move. But again, I'm getting old, so I've got the old guy's perspective now at this point.
I bet they have it back for next season.
Couple other things to get to here. There was some news on the baseball front that has been rumored for a while now. It's now officially official. Nick Birdie, who had joined the coaching staff, I think just in an official capacity like a month ago, to be one of the new pitching coaches for the upcoming season. He's leaving U of L baseball to take over as the pitching coach at Boston College. I'm told that this was not it wasn't working out between him and Dan, or this was he got here and he was just like, this sucks, everything's terrible. It was just he was one of 3 pitching coaches here. He was not the pitching coach here. Boston College was offering him the opportunity to be the only guy in charge of pitching. I think it was a little bit more money for him to be in that role, and it was a situation that he felt like he couldn't pass up. Still sucks that we have made these moves to try to fix the major problem that has plagued Louisville baseball really since COVID, and we didn't even get a chance to really get off the ground. They have said that they will replace his position, but it's probably not going to happen until we get a little bit deeper into the fall and they go through fall ball and all that good stuff. But once again, just like a little bit of a hiccup for the baseball program, which really needs to have a smooth and successful 2027 season, Trev.
As soon as you said he was, I assumed that's what it was. He was getting the sole position opposed to sharing it, because I remember when the news broke, he was sharing it. So that was my initial thought too, and I'm sure it is the reason. I don't know. Hopefully I don't know. I like Nick Birdie, so but I hope it works out with this here. Maybe who's the other coach? Did you say his name? I'm sorry.
Who's you? Now I'm blanking on the name. I mean, Roger Williams is still there.
Yeah, but they brought in 2 people to
right.
share
They both were former players.
It was Birdie and somebody else.
Cade McClure, is that?
That sounds about right. It's a name I know.
Well,
hopefully, maybe
yes, Cade McClure.
I mean, maybe it'll give some more stability. With sometimes too many chefs in the kitchen can be bad for a thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a part of me,
and again, positive about it.
I was, because my initial response was a little bit concerned that maybe this was they've kind of tried to take some responsibility away from Roger Williams because pitching has sucked for the last few years. Clearly, the old way was not working. So they were trying something new.
Sugarcoated there, Mike.
I mean, what do you want me to say? The pitching's been terrible in the last 5 years, with one exception. I mean, my initial fear was that Roger was kind of set in his ways, and there was maybe some clashing going on, and Roger wasn't going to be as okay with this new role as we all were hoping he was. I'm told that's not the case. I'm hoping that that's not the case. Would I be lied to about something like that? Sure. But I'm hoping that this is just
believe that.
Yeah, I mean, I would not blame them if there was clashing going on behind the scenes, and they're concerned about the way that this new pitching staff coaching is going to work. I wouldn't tell me. I wouldn't tell anybody. I would not, and I don't fault them for that. So
they'd tell me.
They'd probably tell you.
I would trust you
because they'd be like, "Yeah, that random guy over there."
Yeah, no one's gonna believe him anyway. We're still telling him everything. Let him back like no one believes what he says.
So yeah,
that'd be actually a sneaky thing for Josh Hurd to do, man.
We'll see. We'll see how this whole thing plays out. There's a new list that is out today. Actually, just got posted. ESPN has ranked the 100 best football players for the upcoming season. Do we feel? I've not looked at this. I'm just opening it now.
Okay. Also got some breaking news.
Okay.
The Seahawks have officially sold for $9.6 billion.
Billion?
With a B to the Colossa family? Colossa?
Ah, the Colossus.
The Colossus.
Ah, of course.
The Colossus of Cloud.
The Colossus of Cloud. The Colossus. Shut up, Tommy.
$9.6 billion. I don't know why. We could have bought that.
We could have. So, Sean Moth is giving me some info, which I appreciate. Sean, I should have just gone to Sean at the beginning. He says,
just have him on the show. Come on, Sean.
Sean says Birdie was basically in kind of a lesser role at U of L. He'll be full-time at BC, and he and his wife were already living in Rhode Island, so too good to pass up. Yeah. Everything's fine. We're good.
I don't know. Now I'm worried that Sean's like, nothing to look at here. No worries. No
I don't
fire.
think Sean would lie to me.
I'd like to think so, too.
If there was something bad, Sean would just tell me the truth, and then he'd be like, you can't say this.
Okay.
And I'd be fine with that.
Would have you been halfway through the text, and you're like, but don't – oh, crap.
I've done that before, too, where it's like, well, I mean, our guy –
Maybe lead with don't repeat this.
I won't out him. I won't say who it was. But, like, somebody hit me up yesterday and was like, Hutchinson's going to go to Cincinnati, but don't say anything. And then I got literally four other texts from other people that were saying Hutchinson's going to Cincinnati. And so I was like, I feel like I can say this now at this point. But there has been one time that I can think of specifically where I did not see the end of the text that said, you cannot say this. And by the time I did see it, I had already said it.
On the air?
Yes.
Was it something bad?
Yes.
Can you repeat it?
I don't think I can because it was fairly recently.
Oh, wow. Is it like with me on the show or? I would remember that.
This was early. This was when we were going through all of we were still adding to the basketball team. So I'm saying probably maybe mid-May, late May.
Okay.
At that point. But yeah, it was.
I feel like I would remember this incident if I was on the air with
I think it flew under the radar a little bit, which I appreciated. But it wasn't the biggest thing in the world, but it was definitely something that I was not supposed to repeat. So, okay, we now have.
Okay, who's our list here we're dealing with?
Okay, yeah, the list, 100 best college football players for the upcoming season via ESPN. How many Cardinals do you think are on the list?
Top 100, I'll say 4.
Well, that's way too many.
3? We
2.
didn't get a third. We didn't even get a Richardson or a Robinson.
Who are you thinking would be on the list?
I was gonna go Lubin, Isaac Brown, maybe Trey Richardson out of 100, and maybe Robinson out of 100.
No,
I thought out of 100, maybe one I'm sneaking in the 80s, maybe.
Antonio Watts, I feel like would be the guy who would be maybe
Keywan Brown, to be honest with you. I mean, but
yeah, you're kind of asking some people to do some digging because the numbers don't indicate that Keywan should be on this list, but I think we've all seen the potential. But you're right. The first two names are the two names. Now,
that's easy, bro.
I feel like the entire offseason we've had these types of lists, and it's been Clev Lubin who's been the higher-ranked player. This one's interesting because he's ranked below Isaac Brown.
Oh, spoiler.
Yeah. Do you want to venture a guess as to where Clev Lubin is on this list?
Because of what you said before you gave me the answer, I would have guessed Lubin ahead of Brown because I've seen that.
Yeah.
This how this movie's worked out. So Brown is ahead of Lubin. Which one am I guessing first?
Clev.
Guessing Clev first. I'll say 28.
60.
Well, then now there's no way he
is down.
If I had known that, I would have never thought Trey Richardson would even get the list.
And here's what they say about him. They say at 6 foot, because I think somebody had him at 11 last week on this same list. I think it was Sporting News. At 6'3", 260 pounds, Lubin is a bit undersized for a top-tier edge rusher. Try telling that to the O lineman tasked with blocking him. His speed and technique set him apart, making him one of the most productive and disruptive forces in the ACC. He finished last season with 8.5 sacks, 13.5 tackles for loss, 7 QB hurries, blah, 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 blah. He'll be the engine of Louisville's defense this year as the Cards eye a playoff bid. Now, at the end of the story, they're asking everybody who voted on this who should have been in the top 50. They asked questions of all the voters when they saw the final list, like what player do you think should have been in the top 10? What player, blah, 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 blah. The first question is who is the biggest surprise from the preseason list? And Eli Letterman says he had Cleve Lubin as one of his biggest surprise that he was even in the top 100.
Oh.
And I'm like, is this guy following football? And then Adam Rittenberg, on the third question is who should have been in the top 50? Rittenberg says Lubin is a guy who should rise up, should be in the top 50. He had 18 sacks the past 2 seasons, blah, 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 blah. So he is vouching for him to be top 50 on this list. I'm just surprised. Again, I'm not saying this winds up being right or wrong. I'm not outraged by it. It just is the first list of this sort that has not had Lubin safely in the top 50.
Yeah, that surprised me a little bit when you said that low. I guess that makes me feel better knowing that at least Isaac Brown's above 60, maybe.
Where do you think Isaac Brown is?
I'll say I'm not going to be generous. I'm going to say 49.
35.
Okay.
They got him up there.
I mean, I'm kind of worried where I was working with it. By the way, the knock on Lubin because of his size. You know who else they knocked on that? Because I heard the same thing. Elvis Dumerville, Dwight Freeney, Terrell Suggs. I mean, not to put him in that same category. Rudy, for damn God's sake. He got to. I am tired. You can't be 6 feet, and you can't be 6 feet. Really, Lucas? The one with the Haim, Corey Haim kid.
Don't get sidetracked. You're on a roll. Stay focused. Don't let me get in your head.
Stop. I feel like the roads are
Stop.
here.
Let's go.
All right. So yeah, that's my. Can we move past this now? And we've moved past it at quarterback, where we've accepted 6-foot guys who can play quarterback at both levels.
Well, also the production speaks for itself. I don't care if he's 5'5", 220 pounds. If you had 15.5 sacks or whatever it was, tackles for loss over the past couple of years, like the numbers speak for itself. Like the big knock on him last year was, can he play at the highest level of college football? And he went out there. I think he had whoever the dude is from Clemson that the Lions drafted. His name is escaping me right now on the offensive line. He gave up 3 sacks the entire year. 2 of them were against Cleve Lubin. He's done it against the best of the best. I mean, he was incredible in the game against Miami. Like I don't care what his measurables are. He's proven it.
Yeah.
Rank him where he's supposed to go.
It's ridiculous. And again, it's not like this is like an exception to the rule. We have multiple examples throughout. They're fewer than your bigger guys, I give you, but still, and when the NFL switches between 3-4 and 4-3 and stand hand up and hand down, I'm tired. No, that's just that's lazy. That's lazy ranking of an excuse to rank a player off of like an outdated stereotype.
We don't have a ton of time to get to this now, but I was going to contrast this with Dane Brugler, who covers the NFL draft for The Athletic, does a really good job. He came out today with his very first top 50 list for the 27 draft. Now, again, he's not ranking based on college talent. He's ranking his top 50 NFL draft prospects right now, and he's got Cleve Lubin at 41. So, like, which I'm fine with, because we talked about the measurables not really mattering for college production. They do matter when it comes to NFL draft stock, so I get that. Yeah. But he does not have Isaac Brown in his top 50.
And he's small.
You're seeing more and more as we get closer to the start of the college football season of these draft prognosticators coming out and saying, whether they're doing mock drafts or big boards or here's my tiers list, you've got a lot of people that aren't really listing Isaac Brown. And even when they're doing the best draft eligible running backs, he is kind of down on that list. Mm-hmm. My spin zone for this.
Are you surprised at this, by the way?
A little bit, yeah.
Now, because he's a 3rd or 4th round pick.
Well, but I mean, his highlights pop for themselves. They're all saying they're worried about the durability. And it's because he missed a lot of games last year. Didn't play a full season as a freshman because he was a true freshman. They brought him along slowly. I wonder if this can potentially be a good thing for Louisville, where this lights a fire under his ass and he says, look, if I don't play a full season or close to it, I'm not going to be a top, second-day draft pick at this point. I may not be in a position where I can go pro after this year. I wonder if this becomes a thing where he's trying to remind, because I think Isaac, after his freshman season, had this mentality of like, everybody's talking about me, and they were. All I got to do is get through these next 2 years, and I'm going to be a first-round pick. And the reality now is kind of setting in that you got work to do to prove yourself. And forget about even if the NFL draft isn't on your radar. If you want to be a guy that's making $2, $3, $4 million as a senior, whether it's at Louisville or somewhere else, you need to go out there and have a big productive season this year as well. Like you got to build on what we've already seen from you, and you've got to show the rest of the country and these NFL executives that you've got the durability to play at least 12 games without sitting out for an extended period of time. So maybe this winds up being a good thing for us that he is being sort of looked down upon by the draft guys. I'm good with that. Spin zone. Let's go. We'll take a break. We'll come back.
Right next to the Baja Blast room.
But that's not true. We'll take a break. We'll talk to you guys on the Thornton's YouTube stream as well as the Gameday Men's Health text line after the break. Your hour's up next. It's the Rutherford Show, 1450-961, Big X Sports Radio.
Hey there, New Albany. This is Mayor Jeff Gahan. It's another year here in our River City, and what better time to show your support for our high school's athletic programs. Whether it's basketball or football, track and field or soccer, swimming or tennis, our Bulldogs are giving it their all on the field and court. So let's rally behind them, New Albany. Come out to the games, cheer them on, and let's make some noise. Let's show everyone what it means to be a part of the best city in Southern Indiana. Go Bulldogs.
Kratt Sporting Goods is Southern Indiana's team sports specialist and is your local Adidas team product dealer. Kratt specializes in outfitting your team, organization, club, or business in apparel, hard goods, and accessories from Adidas and many others. Kratz offers fundraising opportunities for your team, organization, or club through online web stores. Let our friendly staff get you started today by calling 812-282-5400 or visit and shop at our website at krattsports.com.
Honey Baked Ham in New Albany is the perfect spot for a healthy alternative to fast food. They provide a variety of freshly made sandwiches, as well as salads and delicious soups, and you can dine in or take it to go. They also have many dinner options such as ham, turkey, frozen sides, and desserts, which provide a complete meal. Catering is also available for small groups or large gatherings. Call Honey Baked Ham today, 812-941-9426, or visit them, 3602 North Gate Court, Suite 23 in New Albany.
Guns, Gears, Deal. It's everything concealed carry. With over 1,000 firearms in stock, we've got what you're looking for. Fast. SIG, Smith & Wesson, HK, Glock, plus the best selection of used guns in Louisville. Looking for premium? Kimber, Dan Wesson, Wilson Combat. Selling? We've got selling. We pay cash for guns, and we always have specials. Don't wait. Get in today. Everything Concealed Carry, 10306 Taylorsville Road in the heart of J-Town. Everything Concealed Carry. Serious selection, serious value.
If you've been hurt in a car accident or hurt on the job, there's only one law firm to call. Call my friend Tony at the Collier Law Firm at 502-736-8141. Tony will get you paid. This guy used to work for the insurance company, so he knows the other team's playbook. Tony's a diehard Cardinal fan. His family's from Portland and Shively, and he grew up in Fern Creek. With that combination, you know this man can fight and win. In an accident or hurt on the job, call Collier Law Firm. That's C-O-L-Y-E-R Law Firm. Call today.
For swing into the action at Park Mammoth Golf Club, a breathtaking and challenging course just off I-65 in Park City, Kentucky. Stay in the know with the Park Mammoth Golf Club app. Get course updates, special offers, GPS, gift cards, and easy tee time bookings. After your round, unwind at the Mammoth Grill, where delicious food meets stunning course views in our brand new clubhouse. Visit parkmammothgolfclub.com and experience the best in golf today.
Introducing the 1909 Society, the new giving society of Louisville Athletics. Become a member and unlock exclusive access, premium experiences, and insider benefits while supporting student athletes. Visit gocards.com/1909 Society to learn more. Through the 1909 Society, donor generosity ensures Louisville Athletics is positioned not just to adapt, but to thrive in the rapidly changing college athletics landscape. Join today and be part of the legacy. Visit gocards.com/1909 Society to learn more.
Cards fans, looking for a competitive advantage in today's data-driven world? Look no further than earning your master's in business analytics from the University of Louisville in just 12 months. There's no previous coding experience required. Delve into the world of analytics and data visualization, learning essential tools like R, Python, Power BI, machine learning, and more. These classes are now available both online and in person. To get started or to learn more, visit business.louisville.edu/U of L MSBA today.
Yeah. Ooh, that's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning.
You're woken up on a Sunday.
Wednesday edition Rutherford Show. Hour number 2 here.
Rutherford pre-birthday show.
Birthday Eve. Last day as a 41-year-old. Live it
Are you
up.
excited for tomorrow? What you got? What's on the plans tomorrow?
Absolutely the same bleep I do any Thursday.
Are you? Is she taking you out for the weekend? On a weekend date?
I don't think so. I think we're going over to my parents on Sunday for like a dual celebration. It's her dad's actual birthday. So
Okay.
yeah.
So you're gonna be living easy like Sunday morning?
Nothing really big to do when you're turning 42. I don't know about you. I'm not feeling 42. Not excited about it. I also do love.
Is that a song lyric, by the way? Or is it
Taylor Swift, 22.
Oh, okay, 22. Okay.
I checked my email. I've got women's soccer preview. Jeff Rom radio show returns. Men's basketball tickets on sale for the tip-off luncheon. Sandwiched right in between that, it's the neighborhood's alert. Lost cat named Pickles reported near you. I'm concerned about Pickles.
Where's Pickles at?
Pickles looks adorable. Very sweet 13-year-old male cat. Hates thunderstorms.
Well, who doesn't?
Well, it may rain tonight, so we got to find Pickles. We got like 6 hours to find Pickles. Somebody help us out. Find Pickles. Get him out there.
What kind of cat is it? Does it say a calico or something?
It doesn't have a type. It just like standard orange is what I see right there. So it's like standard orange. Is that the actual? Is that the pedigree? Is that the breed?
I think it's the official name.
Standard orange. SO. That's what he is. I was talking. Speaking of our little neighborhood, I was talking yesterday about our next door neighbors putting up the Ole Miss flag.
Yes, they're the ones that are dead to you right now.
I'm used to it at this point. It's just a matter of how do I strike back. But there's also a house pretty much directly across the street from us. We cross the street. It's like there's like a little loop that you can do. Where
Are you in a cul-de-sac?
No. Okay. We're on a main road. You cross it, you go into like what is sort of like the more residential neighborhood area, and there's like a little loop you can do. And one of the houses right across the street, they also are big Ole Miss fans, and every game day they have an inflatable Ole Miss helmet that's up there. And last year I saw it and I was like, hey, I was like, love the helmet, man. He's like, hotty toddy, and he's got a big, thick Southern accent. But so yesterday, I'm walking. Virginia and Mary were at her cheerleading practice. So I get home. I've got John. We go. I take Penny for a walk. He rides his scooter. He's a big scooter kid. Loves the scooter.
Who isn't?
Can't get him on a bike, but he loves the scooter.
Give him a skateboard.
So we're over there, and as we're coming back, the I guess the wife, who I think maybe has talked with Mary, but I don't think I've ever talked with her directly. And she's like, "Oh hey," and like says hi. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And she's walking out there with her daughter. They're changing the American flag down to the Ole Miss flag, which they didn't have last year. They just had the helmet. I'm being attacked from all sides, Trev.
What? I mean,
I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm not Oxford, Mississippi. I feel like this is war.
I mean, seriously, what are the odds that you would move into a house with not
surrounded by Ole Miss rebels?
Not one, but two Ole Miss fans in Louisville. I mean, those odds have to be like lottery winning level, right?
I'm surrounded by rebel forces like I'm friggin' Vader. Like they're everywhere. I don't know what to do.
You make me appreciate the house down the street of me that puts the Utah stuff out front. I feel better now.
I support the hell out of those people.
I mean,
I think I told you that when we were in our old neighborhood, there was this one house that 24
7, 365, they had a Jacksonville Jaguars flag that they just never took down. And I was like, I respect the hell out of you, but I also, do I pity you? 100%. I walked by their house pretty much every night, and I was like, these poor bastards.
One day you just walk up and just give them a hug.
I felt like every single time I saw somebody outside, I was
a little less awkward if we knew each other, but sorry about the Jazz.
I just want to let you know I respect the hell out of you.
I mean, that's got to be, we need somebody with a calculator better with it than just their name on it to come up with the odds.
There's no Louisville flags around us. There's no Kentucky flags around us. The only people that are flying team flags right now are 2 Ole Miss fans.
I mean, it's insane.
And it's not just for this game. Our next one, they have Ole Miss flag up almost all year.
I mean, it's just the coincidence that you're playing them, but still, it's the fact you have 2 Ole Miss. I mean,
gotta go to war.
It's
strapping the hard hat on.
I had an aunt that lived in Mississippi at one time, and one of her sons was born there. And we'd go down there occasion in Batesville, Mississippi, and visit. I don't think I ever saw 2 Ole Miss flags on any trip.
There you go. I feel like this is one that I'm going to hear about, too. I feel like next time I see that house, they're going to be like, so I heard you talked about on the radio.
Now what we have to do is, now this does bring a hiccup in our counterattack, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Because initially we were just going to focus all our all our missiles on one house. Now we can't do that. We got to split them up, right? We can't just put the Cardinal inflatable facing and the banner facing one house. We got to mix it up here a little bit.
I mean, I'm tempted to buy the U of L helmet inflatable now. We go Cardinal, maybe we go flag.
Is there
and helmet inflatable? That's 3 items to overwhelm the 2.
Is there an HOA agreement that says you can only have so many inflatables in your yard at one time?
Well, I'd violate that every Halloween. With the inflatable house, I bought more this year.
Do you have a Grinch? I know that's Christmas. My bad.
Oh no, no, we do not have a Grinch that stole Christmas Halloween inflatable.
I don't know. It's the Grinch the night before Christmas.
Oh, we have Jack and Sally.
So inflatable helmet facing one, Cardinal board facing another.
Well, you can't see their house from where we are.
Oh, I thought you could.
No. It's across the street, but then you have to go left.
But you got to get a flag now. If they've gone flag,
we have a flag. We just need a flagpole.
Well, you don't need a pole. Just hang it on the wall. On the house. Just
hanging it on the house. It's not a frat house in 2005. We're adults.
This is war, man.
It is war.
There's no time for etiquette and war.
We should do one of those frat house things where it's like you write on the bed sheet and we just hang it on the side of our house so only they can see it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So it's like Trinidad Chambliss is 35. They probably wouldn't get it. It's okay.
And when we win, you drunkenly ride around on a tricycle all around the neighborhood screaming "Hottie Toddy sucks."
I do feel like I need to do something if we win, just over the top. I don't want to make enemies, but
enemies, schmenemies.
It may be worth it in the heat of the moment.
Let them move.
When UK lost in 2015, like we were like screaming outside the door and stuff, and like neighbors were out there like fist pumping because we had all U of L fans on our street. That was great. That's the vibe that I'm looking for in the new house.
And how is your house not a frat house in 2005 at this point?
Well, that was 2015. That was 11 years ago.
Okay.
That was before kids. I don't know if we could do that anymore.
All right.
Let's go to the
kids.
Let's go to the Gameday Men's Health text line 502-414-1450. Gameday Men's Health, redefining men's wellness with no shortcuts, just results. Testosterone, peptides, weight loss, sexual performance therapy, and more. If you've got health needs, visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com today to find out what they can do for you. Texas says, it's been reported that Seth Trimble has joined the Jefferson Circuit Court case. However, I just looked at CourtNet. He has not filed anything related to that case yet. This is what I was told earlier today as well. I was expecting him to be a part of the case by now, but it like from what I've seen and what I've talked to the attorneys that have access to all that sort of thing, he has not actually joined the case yet. Should we be concerned? It's like, what are we waiting for?
Is he waiting on something for the ACC to come out, like the SEC and Big Ten, to play some kind of like, if you play these guys, we're gonna?
I don't know. Maybe that is the
could
deal.
that be the issue that he's just waiting to see if that comes out? I mean, and if that's the case, this is the ACC, Seth. You know that. I mean, this could be weeks. Not like we're very speedy about things.
You're not wrong, but I do wonder if you may be right. That may be exactly what's happening here. The whole thing is so. One, I'm so sick of talking about this. I am so sick of talking about this because it changes on a whim. There's no point in diving deep into any of this because it flips every 30 seconds. I mean, as I was driving in here, I saw the story that Bryson Warren had been granted a temporary restraining order to participate. He signed with Texas A&M back in April. He got ruled ineligible because he was a part of that Ohio case that last week was kind of under the radar that the NCAA won. They had their stay. And this is a guy who played for the Westchester Knicks in the G League last year, averaged 20 points a game, and signed an Exhibit 10 with the Miami Heat back in 2024. And now a new court has declared him eligible, but the SEC rules say that he's ineligible. So this will be the first kind of battle. Does Buzz Williams want to risk getting suspended for half the season? I can't imagine that he does, but maybe coming to a Big East program near you. I don't think the Big East has any sort of like, hey, we're not going to allow these types of guys just like everybody else. Who knows?
I mean, do we have to assume, and I know this is sadly to say assume, but that each the other power conferences are going to follow suit with this? Even the mid-majors and other conferences, you think, would almost want to.
Are you kidding me? If I'm like in the Atlantic Sun, if I'm Doug Davenport at Bellarmine, I'm like, R.J. Lewis can play for me. If we're his only option, I mean,
could you imagine
and he'll play for $1,000, hell yeah, let's go.
How crazy a year we have if the power conferences do this, and then we have this just flux of Mark Mitchells and Seth Trimbles all going to like, not even Big East. Let's say the Big East ball suit, like the Atlantic 10 or the Missouri Valley.
Colonial Athletic Association.
I mean,
let's go.
Raleigh Dickerson comes as a 1 seed.
I mean, I did see
they become the first school ever to win a game as a 1 and 16.
Did you say Raleigh Dickinson?
Farley Dickerson. Sorry.
Fairly. Come on.
Fairly.
How
Raleigh.
Dickinson are they?
Fairly. That would be a great story, though, wouldn't it?
I did see today that 2 of the players that were made eligible by the 5-and-5 rule that now have won their court cases are going back to the Big Sky. Like, Northern Colorado is going to be loaded this year.
I mean, how insane. It's going to look like one of the old video game when you would simulate like 3 or 4 years and like some of the small schools just got awesome because they dominated their conference. That's the tournament's going to be the wackiest tournament we've ever seen.
It'd be fantastic. Speaking of players and the lack of clarity on eligibility, there also was news. I think this was yesterday. At this point, I can't even remember if it was yesterday or this morning. But Keyshawn Hall, who was a very good player for the last 15 years, averaged, I think, 18 points per game or thereabouts for Auburn last season. He is not eligible as of right now, but he is committed to St. John's now. They're sort of using him to kind of replace what they lost when Donnie Freeman got hurt. Again, I don't know how this whole thing's going to play out, but if he is eligible, that potential second game for us in Vegas just got a whole hell of a lot harder because he's a very good player. There's no question about that. There's no doubting that. I've got no idea if he's going to be declared eligible between now and then. But if he is, beating Rick Pitino and company just got a lot more difficult, assuming that game. And the other team that we may play, and that's on Thanksgiving, Oregon, has Malik Ewan, who's in the exact same scenario, where I think as of right now he's not eligible, but could be more likely than not that he does get that eligibility at some point. So, I mean, I don't know. Who the hell knows? As much as I would love to have Seth Trimble play for us, to go back to the question we had a couple weeks ago, I absolutely would sacrifice Seth Trimble to just make all of this go away and have at least some uniformity going into the season, which on football starts in bleeping 3 days, and we still don't know who's eligible and who's not eligible. Texter says, this Ohio guy, hey, Mark and T-Raw. If you're looking for a new show to binge watch, Crystal Palmer highly recommends checking out The Great American Road Trip on YouTube, starring Sean Duffy. Is that a real thing?
Isn't that the thing where the one of the politicians went like a road trip with his wife, and they filmed it? I think is that what he's talking about?
No idea.
Because he got grief about it because he was doing this like promoting his road trip right when like gas prices were like $4 something a piece or something at the time.
No idea.
No idea. Okay.
No idea.
I'm not big. I don't like reality TV anyway, so
all I know is I've got a buddy who has the same name as Sean Duffy who works for NASA, and he has been included on several government emails that he's not supposed to be included on.
You have a buddy that works for NASA?
Yes, you were just as shocked the last time I said it like a month ago.
I'm still shocked. Yeah.
This is going to shock you even more. I have multiple friends that work for NASA.
That is insane.
Yep. Boxcar Bob says, they say these things come in threes. Dolly and Tim Curry were both 80, so be on the lookout for it.
I thought
for another famous 80-year-old in the next week or two. I know where you're going with that. Tim Curry was such a legend and was in so many films. What are your top 3 Tim Curry films? For me, Clue, The Three Musketeers, and The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I forgot he played the Cardinal in Three Musketeers.
Everybody has been bringing up Clue today. I guess I feel like I've missed out.
By the way, I think the third was Hayden, wasn't it? Wouldn't that be Hayden?
Panettiere? But that was like a week and a half ago at this point.
I didn't know.
I feel like they come in threes is always like within a couple of days.
Okay, you may be right. I forgot about Three Musketeers. That's the Three Musketeers that had Kiefer Sutherland, Oliver Platt, the guy whose career got ruined when he did Batman and Robin, Chris O'Donnell, and then Charlie Sheen, I think, was in it. It was a decent Three Musketeers. It was a cute Three Musketeers.
Dolphins guys texted in. Says, Mike, every time you read my text, you say that I'm spiraling deeper and deeper into depression, so I wanted to bring a spin of positivity. I'm here to tell you that it literally can't get worse. I've had 33 years of this coupled with the pain of being a Louisville sports fan and the associated trauma of the last 10 years. I am invincible. I feel nothing. If it makes you feel better, Dolphins guy, if I'm remembering correctly, about a year ago, you became Dolphins guy because you were asking if it was okay if you just ditched the fandom. Because he was like, I've got a son who is becoming of age. I don't want to curse him with this for the rest of his life. So should I just change my team with him?
No.
And I was like, you can't do that. No. You at a certain point in age, what would be a reasonable switch of professional sports fan allegiance? Like, say our age, Trev, like 40s. Is there
Sonics going to Oklahoma City, maybe?
Okay, so if like a pro team came to your city, I feel like that would be one where it's like, okay, you can become a Louisville Chargers fan.
I don't know if it would be that would be a lot for the Eagles. Maybe Pacers could get a bump, or the Blue Jays possibly, but even then it would be more like a secondary fanhood if they came locally.
It'd still be so weird. If we had a Louisville pro football team, I couldn't just ditch the Lions, though.
No.
It would feel so wrong. Like, it would have to be one of those weird deals where I'm cheering for two teams.
Unless they play each other.
Yeah, and then at that point, I'm with you. I feel like I would have to cheer for the Lions. I don't know, but it's my city.
Like, the only way, I guess, the only out, I guess, would be, like I said, if you were, you grew up and had been a diehard Sonics fan and they bounced to Oklahoma City, I could see you not wanting to follow the Thunder. I wouldn't blame you if you, or I guess, the Browns did get their team back, and so did Houston in a way.
And I feel like the only other out is a blood family member being a player, or.
But even then, you're just
near
rooting
the
for
center.
The player, though. You're not really rooting for. You can root for the player. You don't root for the team.
I mean, if my son is playing for the Chargers and they're playing the Lions in the playoffs, I'm rooting for the Chargers.
Okay, I'll give you that. But yeah.
Or if my son is like the GM.
But you're still a Lions fan.
I'd be a Lions fan, but it would be secondary fandom at that point.
I mean, here, case in my point, like I root for Mayo because my uncle's there, but I'm still a Wagner fan more than anything.
A little bit different.
Well, it's a family. It's sports,
but it's
right?
also high school sports.
Hey, don't diminish the levels.
Is your Wagner passion on a level playing field with your Eagles passion?
No, not even close. Yeah. But that's not a fair comparison. But the Dolphins fan, no. I understand you not wanting to put your kid through that misery. Then let your kid pick his own team. He might not be a Dolphins fan for all you know. You can't drop the Dolphins, though. And don't throw your kid under the bus on that.
I stand by only 3 reasonable avenues to change your fandom once you've hit a certain point in life. Okay. One is team changing locations, team changing cities.
Yes.
And that would be tough.
I
feel like is a blood family member being directly involved with the team, being a player, front office, something big. And then third, I feel like, is you personally being employed. Like if you became the play-by-play guy for the Bengals, I would not hate you at all for becoming a Bengals fan.
Yeah.
Besides that, I don't know if there's a allegiance shift that I can get behind.
I'm with you. I like all 3 of those rules as well.
Texture says, it's time to ask the age-old question. Do we root for the ACC this weekend because it helps our rep and strength of schedule, or don't because we hate most teams? Sorry, but I'm going to enjoy if the teams like FSU, who tried to dissolve the ACC, lose on Saturday. Rep be damned. Well, I don't think, does Florida State play Saturday?
I thought, don't they also
play SMU in week 1.
Yeah, it's an ACC matchup. I don't know how that works.
But I don't know if they play somebody bad this weekend before they play SMU in week 1.
I never root for my fellow conference teams. Screw
they
that.
do. They host New Mexico State.
Yeah, go New Mexico State. I'd love to see them get upset. That'd be fun.
See, I will go for if I don't have a rooting interest, I'll put like it'd be better for us because we play North Carolina this year if they beat TCU in Dublin. I don't give a bleep about TCU, so I'll root for North Carolina. It's not going to ruin my weekend if Carolina loses, but I will root for them there. But Florida State losing to New Mexico State would be undeniably hilarious. So I will go for New Mexico State without question, even though we also play Florida State, and that would hurt our strength of schedule. I mean, I'll pull for – we don't play NC State or Virginia this year.
I don't know. Is pull for even the right? I mean, you just kind of like would rather them win. You're not even rooting for them. You just would rather them win. Rather than
what's the difference?
I don't know. I think pulling for them is like actually,
we do play NC State.
You're actually rooting. You're like, come on, get this pass. Otherwise, I'm more like, I'd be cool if he gets it, but I just want to see a good game. I really don't care.
I mean, like I said, I'll pull for North Carolina against TCU.
You love by Petrino.
No, but I love Louisville football. And then I guess I'll root for NC State at Virginia because we play them and we don't play UVA. And then Florida State, again, if the comedic aspect of the potential loss outweighs the slight benefit of the strength of schedule boost, you cheer for the comedic element. New Mexico State winning at FSU on the CW in week 0, that's too funny to pass up.
It's going to be a Burdenman game.
Damn right it is.
I wonder if it will be.
Let's go Aggies. And then, yes, I'll root against Memphis State, against UNLV, just because. Why not? Doesn't Stanford plays Hawaii.
Ooh, fun game.
See, I feel like I got to pull for Stanford in that one. We also play Stanford. We have 4 teams on our schedule playing in week 0, which is kind of crazy when you take into account the fact that there are only 8 total games. So 25% of the teams playing in week 0 are on our schedule.
That's NASA math right there.
You damn right. Well, I'm not NASA.
Yeah, but did you copy your homework off some of your NASA friends?
No, we didn't go to the same high school.
Okay.
The Riddler says it sure does seem like the prospects of any of these 2022 pros playing is circling the drain. Honestly, I'd give up Trimble if I don't have to hear whiny BBN on Twitter anymore over Mark Mitchell. I still like my squad. Clearly, y'all don't, and your insecurity is showing loud and clear. Oh, how far the mighty have fallen. The once biggest brand in college basketball is now arguing over whether or not someone signed an Exhibit 10 NBA Summer League contract and if that makes him eligible to play per the new SEC anti-pro rules. Jake Weingarten reported in June that he signed it, and you idiots will believe whatever anonymous source Matt Jones throws you. Again, there's like 50 reports out there of him signing it. It's not just Jake. Calipari would never have them acting like this because the talent would be solidified. Ding dong, your brand is dead. Honestly, I hope he plays, and I hope Sankey throws the book at y'all and revokes your voting rights for the conference so you can't veto us as an addition when conference realignment blows up. That was an all-over-the-place rant from the Riddler.
But most of it was harsh pointed at BBN.
It was. Now, I do think, and this is not a...
Josh got the day off.
This is not a rivalrying point. I think most Kentucky fans would agree with this. Seth Trimble clearly helps us.
Yeah.
Mark Mitchell clearly helps them.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that Mitchell helps them more than Trimble helps us.
Would it be, in other words, they need Mitchell more than we need Trimble?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I think
I agree with that.
If this becomes a blanket, none of these guys are eligible, it clearly hurts us. I think it hurts them more.
Mm-hmm.
So do we do we care that much so that we're actively rooting for it and in turn rooting against ourselves? I mean, and again, it's not just them. I know that we are all hyper-focused on one another here around these parts, but St. John's has 2 players that, as of right now, are going to be vital for them that would be ineligible. Texas Tech, I think, has 3 guys that they really need, including Donovan Atwell, who was very good for them last season, that would be ineligible in this scenario. We are guaranteed to play Texas Tech just like we're guaranteed to play Kentucky. That game, theoretically, it matters more just on paper, or matters as much on paper as the Kentucky game does. Like, we need – I think the good for us if this rule became a thing outweighs the downside of not having Seth Trimble.
In a perfect world, these conferences come up with these rules and the ACC doesn't say a thing. And then we get Trimble and Mark Mitchell.
Here's my big fear in all of this. And I said this to one of our lawyer sources yesterday, was the 4 conferences are going to come out with what on the surface appears to be a arm-in-arm, we're in this together ruling, where they say, we're not taking anybody who was a pro at any point.
And the 4 conferences you're referring to, ACC, SEC, Big 10, and Big 12?
Yes.
Okay. Poor Pac.
But the wording is going to be just different enough by all four conferences that we're still going to have this guy would be eligible if he were in the SEC, but he's not because he's in the Big Ten. And this guy would be eligible in the ACC, SEC, and Big Ten, but not in the Big 12 or the I 100% believe that we're still going to get chaos, even when there's an effort to have some sort of uniformity.
I mean, we've already seen a little bit where the Big Ten said this is football, and SEC's like it's all sports.
Well, I think they did football and basketball.
Or football and basketball. I'm sorry to phrase that. In no disrespect, all sports that matter.
Right, all sports that make money.
Make money, okay. Yeah,
which I think in the SEC is baseball too, but that's about it.
Yeah, but it's, you know what I mean.
Right,
when I
for sure. The spotlight sports.
Yes, thank you. It's a nicer way of putting it than I did, I guess. But so we've already seen kind of I wouldn't call that a riff, but it is a disagreement between these two conferences who, besides that, have a lot of things worded similarly.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Let's take a break. When we come back, more from you guys. We'll check in with the Thornton's YouTube stream for the first time today as well. Continue sharing your thoughts on the Game Day Men's Health text line. The number there is 502-414-1450. We're halfway home on a Wednesday. Back after this, it's the Rutherford Show, 1450-96.1, Big X Sports Radio.
That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. That's why I'm easy.
Honey Baked Ham in New Albany is the perfect spot for a healthy alternative to fast food. They provide a variety of freshly made sandwiches, as well as salads and delicious soups. And you can dine in or take it to go. They also have many dinner options such as ham, turkey, frozen sides, and desserts, which provide a complete meal. Catering is also available for small groups or large gatherings. Call Honey Baked Ham today, 812-941-9426, or visit them, 3602 Northgate Court, Suite 23 in New Albany.
I spend my days teaching fifth graders that big things are built one step at a time.
And at home, we're living that lesson. I'm Kevin Miles.
I'm Rachel, wife, teacher, and we're getting ready to welcome our baby boy.
We can't wait. We're practicing being big siblings.
Crosspace Medic is our family business, built on one simple belief. Your home should feel safe, comfortable, and healthy for the people you love most.
Crosspace Medic, a healthy home starts from the ground up. You can find us at crosspacemedic.com.
Pratt Sporting Goods is Southern Indiana's team sports specialist and is your local Adidas team product dealer. Pratt specializes in outfitting your team, organization, club, or business in apparel, hard goods, and accessories from Adidas and many others. Kratz offers fundraising opportunities for your team, organization, or club through online web stores. Let our friendly staff get you started today by calling 812-282-5400 or visit and shop at our website at kratzsports.com.
Hey, football fans, Louisville football is set to take on returning college football playoff semifinalist Ole Miss in Nashville over Labor Day weekend. The game will be played at Nissan Stadium on Sunday, September 6th. Get tickets now at gocards.com/Music City. Want to catch the Cards at home this season? Visit gocards.com/FBinfo to learn more about available ticket options.
Guns, gears, and great deals. Say it with me. Everything concealed carry. With over 1,000 firearms in stock, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Shop SIG, Smith & Wesson, HK, Glock, and more. Plus the best selection of used guns in Louisville. Looking for premium? Check out Kimber, Dan Wesson at Wilson Combat. We pay cash for guns, and we always have specials. Visit Everything Concealed Carry, 10306 Taylorsville Road in the heart of J-Town. Everything Concealed Carry, your best shot at a great deal.
T.A. Jenkins and T.A. Jenkins Company, LLC, proud sponsor of high school basketball on the Big X. Call Terry Jenkins at 812-989-7381 for your residential and commercial construction needs. Design, build, or remodel, it's T.A. Jenkins Company, LLC, located in New Albany. Email Terry at tajenkins@tajenkinsco.com. That's Ginkins. T.A. Jenkins Company.
Since 1880, Merriman Billings Funeral Home has played a vital role in Bullitt County and Metro Louisville. They're the only family-owned and operated funeral home in Shepherdsville. Merriman Billings can help you plan ahead on their innovative website, MARAMAN Billings.com. Learn unique ways to celebrate a life and leave a lasting impression. Visit MerrimanBillings.com and explore possibilities you may have never thought of before. Merriman Billings is a trusted name. Call them at 502-955-9771.
This Wave Storm Tracking Team forecast is brought to you by Glanz & Buffett Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Comfort you can count on. Service you can trust since 1923.
Here comes another cold front. Surprise, surprise. It brings a chance for showers and thunderstorms later this evening and into the overnight. Temperatures will be back in the upper 60s. Look for highs in the mid to upper 80s on Thursday. We'll see a few clouds, but the storm chance shifts off to our south and east. That means mostly sunny skies by Friday. From the Wave Storm Tracking Team, I'm Kevin Harned.
This is Kentuckiana's only locally owned sports talk. The Big X, AM 1450 and 96.1 FM. WXVW Jeffersonville. W241CK Jeffersonville.
Let your heart hold fast, for this soon shall pass, like the high tide takes the sand.
4 o'clock hour here, Rutherford Show. Trevor Kelsey's in the house. 1450 96.1, Big X Sports Radio. I just saw on Twitter it is match day for the Trinity Shamrocks versus the Wagner Wildcats. At Wagner tonight, 7 o'clock.
Well, but soccer?
Should we show up? Soccer.
Well, bad news. Good news is.
Are you not allowed on school property?
Well, no, I was going to say good news this weekend. Maybe it'll end early because they don't have enough lights before it gets too dark. Bad news is if it starts at 7, I don't think it's going to go that long. It might be.
You never know. Never know.
I feel like though.
I don't know how good the respective teams are this year because we've got no Ryard scoreboard anymore.
Our man Maripoli was actually AD at Wagner at this time, I believe. I would run the scoreboard for soccer games sometimes, and I mean I'll never forget this one. I think it was a Ballard or Trinity. It was one of the two, and the rep just kind of coming up to me, like up to the scoreboard thing, and was like, "So just don't ever stop the clock." And I think in high school it stops when there's a goal. And then it restarts when the whistle's blown. And I think if it's a 3-goal or 4-goal gap or something, it's a running clock. You know, there are rules. I forget them now. This has been a long time. But I was never. I mean, this is like the time. I'm kind of worried. I'm like, why is he coming up here? Like he says, he's like, hi, I'm so and so. I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. He's like, don't stop the clock. Like, I thought
if you do, I'll kill you.
He's like, don't. He's like, I don't know. He wasn't like, we got to get out of here or anything. Or he's just like, let's get this moving. Let's ride a well.
All right, so I'm looking at Wagner's 1-2.
Okay, good.
Respectable. They lost 4-1 to Valley. We shouldn't be losing 4-1 to Valley.
First of all, the fact they scored, I'm just happy.
They did beat Francis Parker 3-2. That's a shot at our old friend Roman Kelly.
I thought it was just one dude, but all
and
right.
Then they lost to Moore 2-0. Trinity is nationally ranked.
Wow.
4-0-1. They beat South Warren 3-0. They just beat Manual 1-0. They beat Iroquois 5-0. They tied Covcath, and then they beat Henry Clay 2-0. What are we setting the over/under here? I think 7.5.
The spread or the over/under?
Now the problem is this is a district game, so they can't. They got to play it out. There's no 10-goal mercy limit, which I think is the mercy limit in non-district games.
I once watched a game where Wagner never made it across midfield with the ball.
There was one time when we were walking the dogs a few years ago when we lived at the old house, and we walked by, and I was like, oh, God. And it was like 21-0 Sacred Heart against the girls. And I was like, they can't stop because it's a district game. Mary's like, somebody get those poor girls off the field. I was like, well, they're not dying. They're struggling with soccer.
I mean, this is Wagner, where my uncle one year had to coach us girls softball just so they could have a team. I remember looking at me at Thanksgiving. He's like, the bleep do I know about softball?
The basketball program's good. That's all that matters, right?
And
for Wagner.
Football's got a
1-0.
And it's 1-0.
Hasn't been scored on this year. Let's go.
Coach O'Neill, you're the man.
I'm setting the over. I'm setting the spread here. 7.5.
I was going to say, with the over and under and spread are kind of the same, right?
Spread is 7.5. Trinity looks like they're scoring a lot right now.
I'm going to say
Rocks cover.
I'll take it. I'll say it's at 9, and I say the Rocks still cover.
Okay.
So here's the question, though. Does Wagner score?
No.
Well, first of all,
absolutely not.
You could seriously drop the condescending giggle when you say it. Okay.
All I know is Trinity's played 5 games against the best competition. They've allowed 1 goal. The odds are on the no side. I hope they do. I'm rooting for Wagner to score.
So am I. I'm going to ride home that way tonight. Usually I take the expressway. Sometimes I feel
JV game at 5:30, so don't get confused if you're watching the JV.
Well, by the time I get out here, it's going to be a little after 6 anyway.
I'm just impressed with Wagner. Like I know that from talking to Jamie Dumpsdorf back in the day, they were they didn't have enough guys to field a team. A few years ago. So I'm glad they have enough people in the program that they have a JV team.
Didn't we drop our baseball season one year because we didn't have enough?
I think they've dropped several baseball seasons recently. I'm saying I'm not.
Like I said, my uncle had to step in and coach women's softball girls just so they could keep a team.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't.
Not alone.
I wonder if they have tennis still or golf.
Zero chance.
We had golf and tennis when I was there.
Those tennis courts I've walked by. I think one of the nets is still up at this point.
Really? That's impressive. Okay.
Yeah, it's, not enough to field, I think, a great match against somebody else, probably. Gameday Men's Health text line is 502-414-1450. I want to remind you guys, we've got Lou City's Keep Louisville Weird Night, which is going on this weekend out there at Lynn Family Stadium. They're doing a bunch of cool stuff where they're wearing those uniforms that kind of have the strange Keep Louisville Weird Hunter S. Thompson feel to them. They gave me one. I wore it to the pool, wore it to the club last week.
You had it in here, didn't you?
I did.
I think I saw you
up on the way
pulled it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I caught that when you were looking at it. Yeah, it looked cool.
If you could just isolate that quote, it would be a tough look for me. You pulled it out in here, didn't you? I thought you pulled it out. I saw you looking at it.
Look good.
Look good. The Lou City team will be playing Detroit FC. Stop by. Gates open at 6:30. They've got drink specials. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock. They've got a can opener keychain, the famous can opener, the bridge that trucks keep running into.
Oh, okay.
They're giving away. They're also doing live tattoos.
I love that idea, by the way. That's a cool thing.
We're keeping Louisville weird, man. So make it out there. If you want discounted tickets, Rutherford Show listeners and Card Chronicle readers can always get them by going to loucity.com/Card Chronicle. Save yourself some dough. Get some cheaper tickets. Let them know you were listening to the Rutherford Show. So best of luck to the boys in purple this weekend.
If there's a radio show that should be enthralled into Keep Louisville Weird, it should be this one, right?
I feel like get weirder than most radio shows, yes.
I think they should be our wheelhouse. I love the keychain idea. I think that's awesome. I think, I like, it's kind of another way of saying local as well, and I like it. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. We'll go back to the text line now, 5024. Actually, let's check it on the Thornton's YouTube stream for the first time today. Never want to isolate, ignore, frustrate our YouTube listeners. YouTube Nation matters a great deal to us.
The producer Key says something mean about me.
Although right now it just says we're on break and we'll return shortly, but I don't think that I'm live.
That's not true. I'm looking at it.
Okay, good. Big X.
You gave me nervous a little bit.
I got nervous too. The Big X. I fast forward to, but you're furiously picking your nose and then throwing something into the garbage on where I am on this. It's like 20 minutes ago. It's a tough look.
That doesn't narrow it down.
It could have been right now. The Big X YouTube stream, fueled by Thornton's. Power up with great coffee, fuel, and discounts at every stop. Let's get to the text. 82 Lane says, "Did you? What were you saying?"
I was going to say, by the way, that wasn't a pick. That was an outer itch.
A lot of itching.
There was just an itch.
Deep itching.
It was an outside itch. There was no penetration.
Once again, the similarities between you and my son continue. Kid cannot stop picking his nose. Nice snort.
Nice, thank you. Have you ever been a nose picker?
Oh, yeah.
I'm bad.
I know where he gets it from.
I am bad.
I know where he gets it from. HLI says, did you see that TCU banned the Star Telegram from covering their sports teams? That would be like Louisville banning the Courier-Journal. This has become a little bit of a thing this offseason. It started like Colorado had this deal where they sent out the memo to all media saying you can come to practice, but you literally can't report on anything. Like no pictures, no photographs. You can't say what you saw. You can't do anything like that. And I think everybody was just sort of like, yeah, but Colorado's been doing weird stuff for a while now. Dion kind of does whatever he wants. That's weird. But this is
they've banned the Star-Telegram and pulled their credentials because they reported a locker room assault that resulted in a case being filed with the TCU campus police. So there was a fight in the locker room that, I guess TCU didn't want out. The Star-Telegram reported on it. There ended up being a charge on this, and now TCU is like, okay, cool, you can't cover our games.
That's not a good look for TCU.
Terrible look.
I mean, if there was like no proof of the fight and they were just reporting it, then TCU could like have semi leg to stand on. But if clearly there was an incident, I mean, and that's just.
Yeah, the reporter in.
By the way, we need to shout out to Paul Petrino, who kind of started this when he banned the Idaho guys.
I remember that being a thing.
Yeah, he banned there's like one coverage of his whole team, and he banned him.
And the team was 0-12. I was like, you need to be giving that guy flowers. No. Kidding me? Stephen Johnson is the reporter for the Star-Telegram, who was told today that this all stemmed from the victim of the report received threats after the reporting, even though Stephen never identified the victim until the victim made a public statement on his Instagram about the assault 3 days after the report initially came out. So now Stephen Johnson, who was planning on going to Ireland, I think today, to cover the Saturday game against North Carolina in Dublin, has credentials pulled. He says he's still going, but he will not have credentials to cover the game. And that is, again, this is the only full-time outlet that covers TCU athletics. It's kind of crazy.
That's just. I hope he takes him behind the woodshed in every story he does.
I mean, this is becoming more and more commonplace where it's like
so stupid.
I mean, we are trending towards every athletic program only granting access to their in-house media. Like GoCards.com is going to be the only place that can have reporters asking questions after games. And I mean, I guess I get it, but as fans, it would be such a disservice to not have an objective, at least a handful of objective reporters out there. I mean, and I say this as a fan media person, I, without question, want Louisville to win, want Louisville to be successful. I don't make any bones about that. I can do that while also recognizing the place that is necessary for people like Brooks Holton, Peyton Titus, Alexis Cubitt of the Courier, who don't have rooting interest to go out there and report on what they need to report on. And that goes for every athletic program across the country.
It's even an opinion piece. He's reporting a story that occurred because in the program.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's doing his job.
Ridiculous, TCU. Come on.
Jacob Polachek has weighed in on the YouTube chat.
Oh.
Says it was big enough for me to leave KRC because I forgot my computer at home.
He did. He did, which was weird because he was carrying his backpack. I'm like, how would you not notice it's not in your backpack?
I've done that before. Where there's enough in my backpack where I don't feel the difference in weight. It's one time, but it was like I got here and I was like, oh, God.
He was kind of freaking out. So he's like, should I leave now and get home? I can be back by the second segment. I'm like, what? I was like, what's the worst that could happen? And then right halfway through the first segment, he gets a phone call and he's like, I got to go.
I don't have the feeling as much anymore because I'm not as focused. I used to try to be on top. Like when news broke, we wanted to have it on Car Chronicle because there were fewer competitors. Now everybody's got stuff happening and I'm on the radio. You can only do so much. But if I used to go places without my computer, it was very much the feeling that you have now when you don't have your cell phone, where you're like, something's wrong.
The cell phone I get, yeah.
Like, this is terrible, but now I don't
I've never been a guy that carried my, I barely have a laptop now, but when I did, I never took it anywhere. Like, I'd go cover, like, U of L games, I'd sometimes take my iPad, the smaller version, but more often than not, I use my phone. I mean, I've never been one of those guys who carries his laptop everywhere he goes, like everyone else apparently does.
There's nobody who's shocked to hear that, Trev. A2 Atlantic says, if you can't get any Ole Miss media on the show, you can also get Morgan Freeman or David Banner. David Banner.
Freeman go to Ole Miss?
Apparently.
Screw that. You know what we should get on the show? Your neighbors.
Oh.
I want to bring on both neighbors and talk about the rivalry of Ole Miss and now Louisville.
I will say Gail, who is her husband, I think, is just a UK fan. She's the Ole Miss fan. She's got the classic Deep South twang. Like, she's fun to talk to just because she's got that voice. And she's a little bit older now, but she's been a long-time attorney. You can tell that she's like, I would not have wanted to go up against her in court. Absolutely
now
not.
We can interview her for multiple reasons.
Yeah. But they go down to the Grove for multiple games every single year. Like, they are diehard.
That is diehard.
Ole Miss. And she talks about that in baseball. And she's a Kentucky basketball fan. Very convenient, but, you know.
And Marshall Henderson will do that to you.
Terry says Tim Curry was also in Congo.
Yeah.
One of the worst Jurassic Park knockoffs ever.
Now, we love Congo on this show, don't we?
No.
Remember, I think I told you.
I recognized it as a cultural phenomenon when I was in 5th grade.
I mean, I cut class, I remember, to go see it. And I think I made the joke like I could have been a doctor if it wasn't for Congo. He's a put down my sesame cake.
Mr. Hobbs says Clue is legitimately hilarious, and you should definitely watch it, Mike. I'm not watching Clue. I'm sad that Tim Curry's dead. I'm not watching Clue.
This isn't a spoiler, okay? But Clue,
I don't care if it is.
Okay, Clue has multiple endings. Kind of like Wayne's World style a little bit. You know, where they doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when Clue came out, they only had one ending on a theatrical release, but they did different endings in different regions of the country.
That's kind of wild.
Which, today, if you do that today, Twitter would explode. But it was it was an insane thing to do. And like when you would get the VHS, it would come with like which I'm assuming would be now if you watch it on streaming, has like four or five different endings. All of them are on.
See, I would hate that.
But it's
I don't like that. Give me one ending, one story.
But we're talking about Clue. It's based on a
I don't care. I want to know the final ending. I actually used to get mad at the ending of Wayne's World. I didn't like it. I recognized that was a comedy, but I was like, I'm someone who needs finality. I need closure, and I didn't get that.
You must. No wonder you hate Lord of the Rings like I do.
Could have just rode that dragon. Just saying. Save you 2 different movies. Skaggy Wag says if you have YouTube TV, you don't need the ticker since you can have 4 games on at once in quad view. Yeah, but that, YouTube TV is for communists.
It's for what?
Communists.
Okay.
It's terrible.
I don't have YouTube TV either.
Whatever political ideology you hate the most, that's what YouTube TV is for.
Socialists.
Fascists only watch YouTube TV. Mr. Rob says Michael Crichton wrote both books.
He did.
Congo and Jurassic Park.
I think they rushed. They could redo Congo now. They think it could be better.
A2 Lane says losing a coach to Boston College is unacceptable. Again, I think he was more of like a volunteer here. And it's a full-time, you're the pitching coach at Boston College. And for all the reasons that Sean laid out, it was a no-brainer move.
They hired our intern.
A-Roar says, I'm sure the Jaguar fan appreciates the respect from a Lions fan. Look, we have a higher all-time win percentage than the Jaguars.
The Jags were pretty good in the early 90s when they first came out in the 90s.
And they literally have not been good since.
Oh, no.
That was it.
Yeah, they did. They had the one year that we won the Super Bowl, they went to the AFC title game.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Have they done anything since then?
Oh, they've done nothing before or after, really.
Have they won a playoff game since then?
Did they win one last year? They made the playoffs, I think. Did they win or did they get beat?
I think they lost.
But I have YouTube TV. I'm boycotting.
The Jaguars made the playoff. They lost to the Bills last year.
Okay. I don't think they may have not won one since 18.
They won. They beat the Chargers, another franchise that can't win playoff games, in 2022.
Oh, okay, so that was Trevor Lawrence, and yeah.
The last time they won multiple. Last year was Trevor Lawrence too, right?
Yeah, he's been there since.
The last time they won multiple games was 2017. They played in the conference championship against the Patriots.
They paid them a game too. I just said it.
That was also the first time they've been in the playoffs in a decade. 2007. So their playoff history, it's more robust than I was giving it credit for. I'll give them credit.
Not to mention, think about this. Their best year, I think, was 99, the Fred Taylor team. They had 3 losses, and all 3 were to the same team.
Titans?
I believe it was the Titans or Ravens. I can't remember which one.
They lost the Titans in the
Then it was Titans, yeah. So they lost. They had 3 losses all year. All 3 were the same. That's sadly insane.
They went to the playoffs in 96, 97, 98, and 99, and won games in 3 of those 4 years, which is impressive.
They beat They ended Marino and Jimmy Johnson's coaching career beating the Dolphins like 65-3 in the playoffs.
62-7.
62-7. Sorry.
Jeez.
You know, I watched that game on my handheld TV while working the scoreboard at St. Matthews. You might have been there.
I might have. That was I was playing in that year.
My uncle gave me one of those little handheld TVs, so I'd quit complaining and whining about working on the weekend during football, and so I could watch like football games on a little handheld TV while I was at the scores table. I was like, quit being about working. Here's a TV.
Producer Keith says team signing a heinous scumbag is a good example to jump ship within a reasonable period of the signing. I can't wait to see if the guy sucks like Watson. JDM says, I saw Elijah Arenas was playing at Donovan's camp. Glad to see him back playing. Yeah, that's after the scary heart stuff last year for sure. A2 Lane says, what does Trevor think about AEW losing $30 million on their last video game?
Oh, well, they've only done one video game. The AEW Fight Forever, and it was very disappointing, so I'm not surprised.
$30 million lost on a video game is insane.
That's been out for like 4 or 5 years. They took forever. They drugged their feet forever to get it out. The problem is it's not the gameplay. It's the internet online interaction. There's no way of like downloading like created people and doing stuff like that.
No.
Yeah, that's where they dropped the ball.
I saw somebody posted a video, which I think is kind of a funny idea. Yeah, everybody this time of year is doing how we do our draft order for fantasy football, and they loaded up, I guess, whatever the old WWE video game is, and had a 10-man Royal Rumble where everybody got assigned one of the wrestlers, and they watched the computer battle it out, and then the order of elimination was the order of the draft.
I've been fun if they got to play it, but yeah, they've been.
Yeah, I think you can't. I mean, because you can't have 10 controllers, right?
Well, I guess so. Yeah, you got a point. Yeah,
it's fun.
Didn't there used to be one where you could get like an extension you could like Nintendo or someone probably did one of those one day?
Oh yeah, but I think it's still maxed out at like 6 controllers.
Yeah, I was thinking that's the number I was at was 6 in my mind. Yeah, you're probably right.
JDM also says Jags made the insane comeback against the Chargers, but Justin Herbert is the best quarterback ever, according to the media. No playoff wins. You have been around for this, Trev. You've been on sabbatical.
Herbert's still good.
I am still the Justin Herbert stuff annoys me to no end.
Is it because it's linked to Joey? You think of Joey Harrington and all that?
No, because I think he gets a pass for everything. Everyone's like, well, yeah, but he's great. All of his receivers just drop passes. Like there's an excuse for every terrible thing that Justin Herbert does, and every time he's in the playoffs, not only does his team lose, he sucks. He's not that good. He's fine. He's an okay NFL quarterback.
I wouldn't say he's not that. I think he's a good quarterback. He has had bad luck in the playoffs, though. Yeah,
it's not bad luck. He sucks in the playoffs.
Hey, sometimes
you said it too. Like everyone's like Lamar Jackson can't win a game in the playoffs, and he's won multiple games in the playoffs, and he's played pretty well in the playoffs. And then Herbert goes out there and goes like 9 of 26 with 3 interceptions, and people are like, "Yeah, he just got some bad luck." He sucks.
See, I think that's unfair because he's a good regular season quarterback at least, and that's more than most.
He's an okay regular season quarterback.
I mean, does Goff suck? He has got one playoff win in his career. Well, he's got more than that, I guess.
Yeah,
with the Rams.
So he went to the Super Bowl with the Rams. He won. He took the Lions to the NFC Championship game.
He only won one game to do that.
He won 2.
I thought y'all didn't have a bye?
No, we beat the Bucs and the Rams.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you had a bye. Sorry,
you were wrong.
I am occasionally wrong.
We were 1 and done the next year when we had the bye. That was the
Washington. Yeah,
that was bad.
Makes you feel better. We beat Washington in the worst ever NFC beatdown ever.
Does not make me feel better.
Oh, made me feel good.
Not at all.
Made me feel nice and warm.
Riddler said, Riddler again. Trevor, I haven't given Josh any days off. Check my tweets. There's been some bangers. My favorite is the AI edit of Charlie from It's Always Sunny with the red string conspiracy scene and Pepe Silvia.
Can we retire that meme?
The sad thing is, I think it's a great scene. I love that episode.
It is,
but it has been overused.
We need to come up with one day next summer. We can do it. The meme retirement home, and that might be going in it.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good ones that
Weebay doing the look. Retire it.
Yeah, there's some definite ones that I still appreciate. I see their value, but it's been 15 years. They show up in every thread that I ever read. We don't need to use those anymore.
Don't send me Homer disappearing into the hedges.
Yeah, that's another one.
I mean, we think we can name them all. Yeah.
Texture says, this is Trevor's stepdad.
Hey, Papa.
Scoot shouldn't be allowed near middle schools to begin with.
Didn't he say that just like the other day?
Still hits.
I feel like you made because
it's still applicable. Texture says, hey, guys, Tuba CCBM here again. What's up, Tuba? Along with the FCS Division II football kicks off tomorrow as well, and my UNC Pembroke Braves kick off against Wingate in a season opener with playoff implications. My marching band is ready to get on the field and support the team. Thanks for allowing this shameless plug. Yeah, we got to give our guy, Tuba CCBM, his props. It's his first year as the leader of the UNC Pembroke Braves marching band.
Oh, nice.
He's running the show. He's in charge. Let's bring it home.
Do you think he likes the movie Drumline?
Probably. Let's go Braves. Make it happen. Texas, this is Jacob again. I'm sorry for leaving early, Trevor. Sincerely, Jacob Polachek.
Oh, he got his number. Now you have his real number. Do I hear somebody laughing or is it me?
It's Trey.
Okay, good. I thought I was hallucinating for a minute.
Just sounds weird because you rarely hear Trey laugh.
I'd rather hear anybody here.
Trey, every single day, he thinks it's so funny to be like, U of L sucks. I'm like, okay, man. He's like, go Cats. I'm like, we beat you in soccer.
See, I talked to Trey. We talked wrestling. Do you know he worked for WWE?
No.
He worked there from during the Attitude Era from 98 to 02 as a video photographer and a video editor, editor or whatever with them.
Did not know that.
So we sometimes a lot of time, Trey's usually not in our office, usually in the other ones. But the few in times in between we've gone by, we share some old school wrestling stories.
I guess that makes his involvement in OVW make more sense.
Yeah. It's kind of fun. I mean, he was there at a prime time. Trust me, he'll tell you. He might be able to tell you some good Vince McMahon stories.
Texas Mike, you said that we were not looking to add another player to the men's basketball team, but for me, this begs the question: with London Johnson gone, who's running point for us when Shellstead's not in the game? It kind of feels like we're back to where we were at the end of last year, where it's sort of Adrian Woolley by default, right?
Even last year, we had Conwell almost do it more often than
Well,
Woolley.
I mean, I'm saying when Michael was out at the end of the year, Conwell was basically the point guard, and then when he was out, it was Woolley who was stepping in and playing that role. And I think Woolley, in the Miami game, Woolley played more point than Conwell did and played it well. He didn't play particularly well against Michigan State, but it's not a natural position for him. But
Did Montgomery play point at all? I mean, I know
No.
it's 6. Okay,
That's
I
not
mean,
his
you know his game better than I do.
I mean, I think that it would be, again, with Seth Trimble on the team, that would be more Trimble's role than Woolley's role. But I'm assuming at this point, because he's not officially on the team now, that we don't have him. So I would say it'd be Woolley. But, yeah, I mean, Isaac Ellis? Are we going to go that route? Outside of the extremely outside possibility, which I don't even think is a possibility, of like Reese Austin reclassifying and joining the team for this season.
He has talked about that, I believe.
Well, his dad did, but his dad did it in sort of like we may just do that. And I'm like, you can't just see other people. You got to kind of plan for that sort of thing.
You don't tell Skip to Lou no.
But at this point, like I said, I don't think we're adding anybody else. I don't think we're looking for anybody else. If something falls into our lap, Brian Bowen style, maybe we try to go that route with hopefully better results than Brian Bowen gave us. But for now, yeah, I think who we've got is who we got. And it is a little bit concerning that our backcourt is so thin. Let's take a break.
This texter on 12 days ago said he's also watching Sopranos the day you announced that. I wonder if he's farther along than you are now.
I mean, I've been doing pretty well.
You catching up? You were like early season 2. You staggered for a minute.
I mean, that's like 2 weeks ago. That's like 16 episodes in 2 weeks. That's like an episode a night. It's pretty impressive. Let's take a break. When we come back, we got a couple stories that we've not gotten to just yet. We'll talk about those. A lot of texts from you guys at 502-414-1450. Also, I've got an idea for Louisville basketball inspired by some piece of news from earlier today. We'll talk about that after the break. It's the Rutherford Show. Hour number 3 is next here on the Big X.
Hey there, New Albany. This is Mayor Jeff Gahan. It's another year here in our River City, and what better time to show your support for our high school's athletic programs. Whether it's basketball or football, track and field or soccer, swimming or tennis, our Bulldogs are giving it their all on the field and court. So let's rally behind them, New Albany. Come out to the games, cheer them on, and let's make some noise. Let's show everyone what it means to be a part of the best city in Southern Indiana. Go Bulldogs.
Guns, gears, deal. It's everything concealed carry. With over 1,000 firearms in stock, we've got what you're looking for. Fast. SIG, Smith & Wesson, HK, Glock, plus the best selection of used guns in Louisville. Looking for premium? Kimber, Dan Wesson, Wilson Combat. Selling? We've got selling. We pay cash for guns, and we always have specials. Don't wait. Get in today. Everything concealed carry. 10306 Taylorsville Road in the heart of J-Town. Everything concealed carry. Serious selection, serious value.
If you've been hurt in a car accident or hurt on the job, there's only one law firm to call. Call my friend Tony at the Collier Law Firm at 502-736-8141. Tony will get you paid. This guy used to work for the insurance company, so he knows the other team's playbook. Tony's a diehard Cardinal fan. His family's from Portland and Shively, and he grew up in Fern Creek. With that combination, you know this man can fight and win. In an accident or hurt on the job, call Collier Law Firm. That's Colyer Law Firm. Call today.
Card Nation, your Louisville volleyball team is headed to Music City in September. Check out the team in the Broadway Block Party on September 6th. Your Cards look to take on Powerhouse, Texas in a matchup at Bridgestone Arena. Grab your tickets at gocards.com/VB Nashville today.
Check the back seat. All right, come here. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good. Because every year, dozens of children are forgotten in the backseat of a car by a parent or caregiver. All never thought it could happen to them. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hello, I'm John Burke, president and owner of United Mechanical. My Christian faith is the foundation on which my company operates. Since 1999, United Mechanical's workforce has provided quality and dependable HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and refrigeration services for all of Kentuckiana's commercial and industrial businesses. Our mission is simple: to deliver a comprehensive array of reliable services in an ethical manner and always put our client first. Call United Mechanical at 502-339-1133. That's 502-339-1133.
I spend my days teaching fifth graders that big things are built one step at a time.
And at home, we're living that lesson. I'm Kevin Miles.
I'm Rachel, wife, teacher, and we're getting ready to welcome our baby boy.
We can't wait. We're practicing being big siblings.
Crawlspace Medic is our family business, built on one simple belief: your home should feel safe, comfortable, and healthy for the people you love most.
Crawlspace Medic, a healthy home starts from the ground up. You can find us at crawlspacemedic.com.
Options. When it comes to insurance, that's exactly what you deserve. I'm Chad Hennessy with InsureMax, and I've been proudly serving the Louisville area for over 25 years. As an independent agent, we work with auto owners insurance to find coverage that fits you, not the other way around. InsureMax delivers strength, service, and peace of mind through partners like Auto Owners Insurance. More choices, more options. Call me, Chad Hennessy, at 502-479-4085.
Hello, I'm Todd Metter, president and founder of TKM Financial Services here in Louisville. Listen to my live local call-in show Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. on 970. A Nickel and a Plan Finance Show is real talk about all things money, done with a musical twist. Tune in and join in as we talk markets, investment strategies, and more. To schedule a free consultation, go to tkmfsllc.com or call 450-PLAN, that's 450-7526. TKM Financial Services, comprehensive in approach, client first in nature.
Close to me, you like my mother. Close to me, you like my father. Close to me, you like my sister. Close to me, you like my brother. You are the only one, you my everything. And for you, the song I sing. All my life, I pray for someone like you.
Oh, Casey and JoJo. Still can't get over the video of them from a few years ago with, I believe, JoJo just like completely pissed drunk on stage, passing out in the middle of the song. Just ruined it a little bit.
I just can't still get over the fact it's Casey and JoJo from Jodeci, which means the third member is Duh.
Well, not
Poor
necessarily.
guy. Good short string on that one.
Yeah, I mean, C.
Joe
you don't-
does C.
I know, but you don't have, it's not Casey.
We added to K because it was just a C, though. It's like Belle Biv DeVoe.
Well, so Duh could have added something too, if you wanted to.
Duh, man.
It's a bad joke. Come on. Third hour here with the Rutherford Show, 1450, 96.1, Big X Sports Radio. Speaking of sad videos and people maybe dealing with some addiction issues, did you see the latest video from former Duke star Kyle Singler?
I watched it. I watched it without volume because
It's super sad.
Yeah, it was brought up. Pete brought it up, and he was like, "Can we play it on the air?" And I'm like, I hadn't heard any of it, and I just kind of looked the way the look he had in his eyes. I'm like, I don't think there's any way I'm playing this without listening to it at first.
He's done this a handful of times, and it was one of those, for whatever reason, I don't follow the Kyle Singler account, but now Instagram just shows you like 75 videos of people that you don't follow, no matter how much you change your like what you want to see settings, and it popped up like maybe 30 minutes after he posted it last night. And it is remarkably sad. I mean, he has all the looks of somebody who is kind of strung out or dealing with a mental breakdown or a mental breakdown fueled by an addiction issue, whatever it is. He's talking about, I've messaged Coach K. I messaged the fans. I need your help. No one's helping me out. No one's getting back to me. I guess nobody cares and all this stuff. I know that because he's done these types of videos a handful of times over the last couple of years, and every time it happens, you get a string of former teammates that say, I've tried to reach out. I stopped by his place. Nobody will let me in. He won't talk to me. Surely somebody can do something for somebody who is out there. I mean, at this point, you see this type of video of a person in this type of state, and unless there's some sort of intervention, you feel like the next time we hear about Kyle Singler, it's going to be because he's dead. And when it gets to that point, I just can't imagine that there's nobody in his life who would
go to his, like, break down his door and say, like, you're coming with me. We've got to go figure something out. I mean, this is somebody who made millions of dollars in the NBA, who I don't know how much he has left. I don't know if he's got the resources to get help on his own, but he's very clearly dealing with something that is beyond his control. And whether it's Krzyzewski or somebody else with Duke, like, step in and help this guy. Like it was. I couldn't finish the entire video. It's remarkably sad.
I imagine, and I might watch it with the volume at some point. Like, I could just watch. Like I said, even without the volume, I could tell. I mean, it's not hard to see that there is a problem there. Like you said, it's either whether it's self-related because of abuse or substance abuse, or maybe it's a mix of self-medicating because of dealing with a bipolar or schizophrenic maybe situation, which I kind of lean probably towards the latter in those two of that, and you're self-medicating. I mean, I find it hard to believe that there hasn't been some reach out for help. Maybe it's just not maybe who he wants, or you know what? If you're an addict, I mean,
you don't care. Yeah.
This is just you just wanting to get more money to fuel your addictions, and and maybe they've kind of not cut the ties or stopped helping you, but. I do have a bad feeling this is not going to end well.
Like I said, without intervention, there's no way it ends well.
Because he also needs to help himself as much as he needs help from other people, and I don't know how much. I don't know his own story, so I can't speak completely, but I can only speak in broad statements, and I do have a bad feeling this is not going to somehow. Well, I mean. It depends what you consider ending well.
Well, it is reminiscent.
He could be alive, but I can see him in a prison or something.
It's reminiscent of the Delonte West stuff from a few years ago, where there was videos of him side of a road looking like
he's homeless.
Yeah, I mean, and clearly looking like same thing, where he looks like he's addicted. He looks like he's dealing with some significant issues. And you had, I think it was Mark Cuban who picked him up and said I'm taking you with me, and. The next time we saw him, he was right back doing the same stuff and still kind of.
Yeah, whatever happened.
No, well, I think he's gotten a little bit better. I want to say the last time that there was an update, he was helping out at some basketball camps, and he still looked like he was far too skinny and like he was dealing with the after effects of addiction, but did not look like he was openly strung out or dealing with some sort of mental breakdown, which is good.
Is probably a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he's made some progress and he's kind of integrating himself back into traditional society, which is good. So there's hope, but it does not happen without somebody stepping up and really helping out. So hopefully,
the last thing on his
gets the help that he
Wikipedia
needs.
page just for you is on January 15, 2016, he was revealed that West had been arrested in Fairfax County, Virginia, for assault and robbery.
Right, but I'm saying there's videos like this week. Of him, attending a camp.
I got you. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, and coming out. I think there's actually an interview that was on.
Oh, that's good.
That was out there on YouTube a couple of days ago of him working at this camp.
If I kept reading it,
he looks healthier.
If I kept reading, the reason why you can see that is because apparently, despite the assault, only $23 was stolen by West.
Yeah,
that's kind of a crackhead mood.
Another piece of news that came out today. Real quickly, there's a little bit of an update to the whole Seth Trimble stuff that's going on. He's not still been added to the Kentucky, the Jefferson County Circuit Court case. But there is a story in the Lexington Herald Leader that centers around Mark Mitchell and his eligibility. And they received clarification from the SEC about this new rule. And this is what the SEC said to them. A player who played in the 2026 NBA Summer League could be eligible to play in the SEC during the upcoming season if he, 1, did not enter the 2026 NBA draft as an early entrant, instead was automatically, like we talked about earlier, automatically eligible because they were a senior. 2, never signed any type of NBA contract, including an Exhibit 10 or two-way contract. So, again, the word from the Mark Mitchell camp is we never signed an Exhibit 10 deal. That's the same situation that Seth Trimble's in. He played under an Exhibit 10 contract, played in the Summer League, but never actually put his pen to paper or signed anything. So if the ACC adopts the exact same set of circumstances that the SEC has, Trimble would be eligible to play for Louisville this upcoming season, assuming that he gets added to this injunction successfully.
Assuming this means R.J. Lewis isn't going back to LSU.
Again, I can't assume anything at this point, but
I find it hard to believe you traded a player that wasn't under a contract.
As of right now,
he is ineligible to play in the SEC.
Okay.
The big question becomes, does LSU itself fight its own conference, and then what does the SEC do at that point? Because if you're going to stand by your word, you're suspending Will Wade for half the year. If they try to play him, you're taking away all of their funding for men's basketball, all of that stuff. Do you really have the teeth to go through what you're threatening to do? Because LSU is saying we're not a part of that. Who knows? There was a story, speaking of the SEC and basketball, there was a story this morning that Auburn and Alabama, who play every year in basketball because they're in the same conference, they're going to play an exhibition game against one another in October. And if it sells out, both schools are going to make six figures. They're doing this as a very clear money grab to try to boost their roster building efforts. NATO has said, I think this offseason, we can't keep going like this. We don't have the money to field these types of rosters. I know we have a lot of money, but it's Alabama. Most of that money is going to go to football. I recognize that. So they're looking to raise some funds any way they can.
So they're doing an exhibition game to raise funds to pay for their roster.
Yes. So my question is, if Louisville and Kentucky did something similar, where you're going to play a game that actually matters, an exhibition game that would, without question, draw a ton of attention and would draw a ton of money for both programs, is that something that you, Trevor Kelsey, would support?
No, because I think if you're going to do it, you should do it for some charity or something.
I can't. Well, forget about the charity. Nobody's doing anything for charity anymore. That's the charity days are done.
Really? Because I know a point guard named Charity Smith. I'm just kidding. Come on, that was funny.
Yeah.
Shut up. Mic on. Hello.
Can you answer the damn question?
I said no. I'm not okay with it.
Do you want to back that up with anything?
Well, one, I don't like the fact that it would be maybe for charity. I would accept it, but otherwise, I don't want an exhibition game. I just play 2 regular season games.
I hate it. I think the idea.
I won't say I hate it, but
I hate it. I mean, I would hate it if Kentucky and Louisville did it, because, imagine winning the exhibition game and then getting your ass kicked in the regular season. I wouldn't even want to celebrate an exhibition win
unless you win the regular season.
Right? Who cares? I get that it would draw a ton of attention, but neither coach wants to show their hand. But at the same time, they don't want to lose to the other side by 23, even if it is a meaningless game in October. It would be such. I understand the financial benefits of doing something like this, but do it against anybody besides Kentucky. Do that against Indiana. Do it. That would still draw a ton. You're going to get a ton of people in Assembly Hall. I mean, we've done it against Kansas now. We had a big crowd for that game last year. They're going to have a big crowd at Fog Allen next month or 2 months from now when we play that game. Do it against Bellarmine. If you don't want to play Bellarmine in the regular season, play an exhibition game against them. Split the cost, or let us take 75 and they take 20, whatever it may be. But doing the actual arch rival game when you're set to play in the regular season, and I assume Bama and Auburn probably play twice, don't they?
I would think.
It just seems, it screams to me, yeah, it's a rivalry, but it's a secondary rivalry. Everyone knows that football matters more.
I was going to say, didn't that matter at least make a difference for Alabama and Auburn, because their fan base is really just, if they did this somehow in football, would you be as angry about it if UK played in football instead of basketball? In some kind of exhibition string?
Yeah, probably. I probably would.
Don't know how you
would
really
too.
do it.
But football's so different than basketball.
I know,
anyway.
It's kind of hard to do a comparison.
But I mean, this screams to me, we're good basketball programs, but we're still not really serious basketball programs.
Well, they're trying to raise money.
But they've got more money than we do for as an athletic program.
Well, yeah, but in Alabama's case, most of that goes to legal services. Hey, I got to laugh. All right. I'm out, people. See you on Thursday for the birthday.
It was a pity laugh.
Shut up. Al, you think I'm beneath a pity laugh?
Absolutely not. But I can't imagine Louisville, Kentucky ever doing this, nor would I want it. Even if circumstances got so dire that we were trying to raise money any way we could, I could not support Louisville, Kentucky, meaningless game in October. It would just feel inherently wrong. Could not do it.
Louisville desperately needs money to raise funds. Would you, A, allow them to do an exhibition game against Kentucky, or B, rather have the basketball team doing a car wash on Preston Highway?
Car wash. I thought you were going to say OnlyFans, and I was like, OnlyFans.
I wonder what there was I could have said that would have made you say exhibition game.
Sorry, Deshane. It's time. We need this money. It's all legal. It's all legal. What do you think of my idea? So I put a tweet out there last night that has gone like
You're on Twitter?
Semi-viral.
Ooh.
What if you could have a daytime TV show, Maury Povich style, where they announce whether or not players are eligible to compete in college sports for the upcoming season? I would watch.
The ratings in certain areas would be pretty large, right?
Can you imagine here if they did Mark Mitchell, where Maury Povich is like, when it comes to your ability to play for the Kentucky Wildcats,
well, first it'd be
Mark, you are not eligible. And place just goes nuts. Kentucky fans are swarming Maury, trying to punch him. Mitchell's crying. Like, imagine that.
There's a few Cards fans cheering in the stands.
Oh, yeah,
boy,
U of L fans are cheering. Kentucky fans are tackling them. Ratings bonanza, Trevor Kelsey.
Not to mention, it's going to be a 30-minute special. So it's going to go until the last, the 30th minute before they actually make the announcement.
Okay, yeah, they'll do
They'll go to commercial like, you are, and then they'll go, next thing you know, it's like.
Waiting
for
the break.
I have a spray for my armpits and my butt crack.
They'll do the Utah State players before, and then you will get to the Kentucky and the Louisville players and Kansas players at the very end of the show. But I'm telling you, it's not the worst idea I've ever had.
I don't think it might be one of the best. I mean, that would be instant. Now, do you put it on ESPN or do you do
it's daytime TV. ABC, Fox, CBS, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but daytime. We got to put it on primetime.
No. It's not classy. We're putting it on daytime TV. This is Springer, Maury, Judge Judy all rolled into one with college athletics there. You want to watch that show, you got to take off work or not have a job. 1:30 p.m.
I hate the fact that
Fox.
anytime I get caught watching Judge Judy, I always end up watching it.
That says more about you than
it's so sad. I know. I almost don't want to. That's of all the things I will admit on this show. That's like one of the few things I don't really want to, but I just did.
But I would watch this. No question about it.
Would you say curse at the TV? Come on.
Just fights everywhere. Be incredible. Let's go back to the Game Day Men's Health text line. 502-414-1450 is the number there. Boney Dumper has weighed in.
Oh, so now he's just trolling.
More like Ole Miss, saying it again, 3 straight days.
Now, is this going to be every day until the game?
I'd say the signs are there, Trev. That this is going to be, we got 11 more days of this. The signs are all there.
This is the only thing he has said since the last time he told, the last tweet was telling me, I'm wondering if I knew that Roman thought the Ferris Bueller secretary was an actual caller.
I don't know what to say about that.
I know, it's so good. That's funny. I love it.
Ball Knower says, in a world of uncertainty, what is your confidence level 1 through 10 that Seth Trimble suits up for us this year? I have no confidence or lack of confidence about anything anymore because you just don't know.
Was it higher before you saw the SEC and Big Ten come together and assume the ACC might follow suit with these rules?
No, because he still fits into it doesn't affect him. He is eligible based on those rules.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because assuming he didn't sign the Exhibit 10 or whatever. Yeah.
I feel like if all things were equal, like my big doubt is not the current landscape of what's going on. It's the fact that the landscape is ever shifting. If everything were to stay the way that it is right now, which probably won't be the case, I think it's like a 9 out of 10 that Seth Trimble suits up for Louisville this year. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, the NCAA and the member, it's not even really the NCAA, the member conferences are the ones stepping up and kind of showing some cojones at this point. But they are so hell-bent on trying to fight the notion that there's no controlled chaos in college sports right now, and it's just complete chaos with zero control. Maybe some other rule, some stricter rule will come up because judges are still fighting the current rules they've got. Like, I can see it becoming a deal where they somehow get to a point, and they're going to have to get there soon. Like I said, football starts in 3 days, where they find a way to just say, all right, well, we're not taking any of these fifth-year guys who should have been from the 2022 class. We're just nobody. That would be my primary concern. I think that's the only way that we don't get Seth Trimble playing for Louisville, because if all things are equal, he's going to join that Mark Mitchell, D'Angelo Hutchinson, Jabari Mack suit, which I don't think is going to be successfully appealed. So he should be good to go. And he will, unless the ACC changes its rules to be different than the SEC and different than I think the extension that the Big Ten is going to make, he should be good to go.
Yesterday, we both kind of agreed that this was a Big Ten kind of chest pumping for posture only, because if someone wants it, they're going to take it to court, and then there's going to even if they try to suspend the coach, he can appeal.
Well, here's the thing now, though. But that's not necessarily the case anymore because the Big Ten has gotten, and the SEC until today had gotten all of its member institutions to agree by this. It's no longer the player being able to just go to court and sue. Like they can have a judge say he's eligible to play. The conference now is though saying you still can't play him, or else we're going to impose these punishments on you. So if you want proper, whatever, getting what you want to go through the legal routes, you're going to have to sue the conference now, unless these schools fall.
I wouldn't put for example, on LSU, who seems to be needing all these players just to be, as you said, field a team. Like, I mean, if the league tries to say, okay, we're going to suspend Will Wade for half a season, I mean, Will Wade can appeal that, right? I mean, and he can fight it, and then go even take it into court and probably win. Am I not wrong?
I don't know I don't think that he can. I don't think you're going to win that case against the conference.
The school LSU, when they try to say you're losing 50% of your whatever these funds, the school could file a lawsuit against the NCAA in terms of unfair judgment or something. I mean, I'm sure there's something their lawyers will tell them they could do.
They can try, but I mean, you run the risk of being sort of blackballed by the entire conference moving forward. And if they wanted to run that risk, if they want to go full renegade program, that's on them. But as of right now, they're the only one out of the two major conferences, I should say, who's kind of showing signs that they would be willing to do that. Do you really want to be the one who's ostracized from all of this when you have to take into account the future landscape of college athletics? The best thing that the SEC programs have going for them right now is that they're SEC programs. Like, you've got the stablest of footing as we continue to move forward in these, completely uncharted times. I would be very weary of putting that in jeopardy at this point. I'm not saying that, because let's say the SEC, who knows what things are going to look like in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
but let's say the SEC does want to go the super conference route, and they essentially are calling all the shots. Maybe they say, LSU, you can't come with us because of what you did a few years ago. You haven't been sitting at the cool kids table for a while, and now you're gone. Like, again, conference affiliation, if you're in the Big Ten or the SEC, is the best thing that you've got going for you. Do not screw with it. And I think that will be the decision that the SEC president has to make right now. Clearly, his coaches don't want him to be on board with this. It's the only reason why they were okay with it yesterday and not okay with it today. But that's a pretty big statement to make if you're going to be the one out of that conference who says, I'm not good with these punishments.
I mean, we saw Texas Tech have a chance to get ostracized because of the Sorby thing and just finally say, you know what, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, they couldn't handle it.
Which, by the way, they now have gotten officially a commitment from Thomas Castellanos,
For now.
the Florida State quarterback from last season, who is, as of right now, eligible to play.
Yeah. Hey, at least you didn't gamble, right, Texas Tech?
That's right. Chris the Plumber says, I can see why Hutch went to play for SAT. He was initially recruited by SAT, but having said that, yeah, he could have picked a better spot, but whatevs. Regarding Tim Curry, have you all seen the first season of Welcome to Derry? It's excellent. Check it out. I've only heard good things. I've not watched it. I do, Mary can't do any sort of scary stuff, so it would have to be a solo project, but I do want to watch it at some point.
I mean, there's just so much TV. I can't keep up with it anymore.
Golden age of television.
I wouldn't even call it that, but there's definitely a lot of it.
That's what they say.
Well, yeah.
Texas says, Mike, what is going on? Is UK cooked by the SEC and not getting Mitchell, and we're fine and keeping Trimble eligible? No, that's not what's going on.
It would be fun for us to get Trimble and they don't get Mitchell. That would.
Oh yeah, if that were a possibility, it's the funniest of all possibilities. But it's certain.
They're the meltdown.
It certainly sounds like Mitchell is eligible by the SEC standards, and Trimble will be eligible by the ACC standards, assuming that they follow suit. Texas says, so my recent text about returning players acting like recent high school graduates coming back like they are kings of the school was spot on with Hutchinson. Yeah, pretty much.
That's right. Yeah,
pretty much. That's a phenomenon that I think a lot of people can resonate with, and maybe it happened there. Who knows? Texter says, I love Monk. Writing can be full of holes, but Tony Shalhoub is great in it.
Oh, it does. It is very kind of corny and has a lot. It does have plot holes, but Tony Shalhoub is great. Yes, and it's got Ted Levine in it as a cop, the guy who played Buffalo Bill or Bob.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of weird watching him be like the serious, do you want to solve a mystery? Yeah, that's all I keep hearing. It's like, hey, Monk, you put the lotion on the skin. It's kind of weird seeing it.
I love Wings.
That's my response to this conversation.
I can see you liking wings.
I loved wings.
I didn't hate wings.
Tony Shalhoub was great at it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's that. Was it Ned? Not what the guy that played Sandman? He was on Ned and Nancy or something.
Yeah, I know exactly.
I can't remember his real name on the show, or his real name, or the show character now. Lloyd.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
Mr. The Biggins. Yeah, that show was
Thomas Hayden Church was Lowell.
Thomas Hayden Church. That's it. Yeah, that's
one of the main characters. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a good Bruce Weber, I think, and Tim Daly were the two brothers.
Tim Daly, that's right. He kind of disappeared after Wings.
Yeah, the other guy does a lot of SBU episodes as lawyers. So, yeah.
Drinks Guy says, burn their rebel flags like Sherman did in Vicksburg.
I'd love to one. I don't know, I can just turn on the news and be like, local celebrity Mike Rutherford was seen drunk here, lighting a Ole Miss flag on fire outside of a local residential home.
Claimed he did it for the glory of the Union.
This is for Jeff Brom in the North.
Ulysses S. Brom. Drake's Guy also says Tim Curry was great in Muppets Treasure Island. Okay. And says, I work in tech and I understand how to use an app to look at scores, but that doesn't mean I want to look at my phone when I'm watching a game. Legit seems like a way for them to increase engagement on their mobile app while saving money on the broadcast. You're probably right.
Or they're just going to replace the scores and still put the ticker on there and just have the commercials like advertising spots only.
Yeah, let's not act like any decision that a power like ESPN makes is based on the fans and what they want. This is not about the fan experience. This is somehow about having more space for advertising or some other thing that's going to bolster their bottom line, which is sports now.
Yeah.
Always kind of has been, but more so now than ever. Let's take our last break. When we come back, it's the 5 o'clock hour. We'll run through the text line, share some laughs, have some fun, maybe some tears, and then we'll predict the game tonight in the world of sports. What did we predict last night?
Good Lord. I can't. Seriously? Texas and Marquette?
That was 2 nights ago.
Well, damn.
That was 2 nights ago. We'll think about that, and we'll come back to it after the break. It's the Little League World Series. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah, we picked Ohio.
Yeah, no idea who won.
Canada won.
Go Canada. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the show. It's the Rutherford Show, 1450 96.1, Big X Sports Radio.
Close to me, you like my father. Close to me, you like my sister. Close to me, you like my brother. You are the only one. You're my everything. And for you, the song I sing. All my life, I pray for someone like.
Guns, gears, and great deals. Say it with me. Everything concealed carry. With over 1,000 firearms in stock, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Shop SIG, Smith & Wesson, HK, Glock, and more. Plus the best selection of used guns in Louisville. Looking for premium? Check out Kimber, Dan Wesson at Wilson Combat. We pay cash for guns, and we always have specials. Visit Everything Concealed Carry, 10306 Taylorsville Road in the heart of J-Town. Everything Concealed Carry, your best shot at a great deal.
Introducing the 1909 Society, the new giving society of Louisville Athletics. Become a member and unlock exclusive access, premium experiences, and insider benefits while supporting student athletes. Visit gocards.com/1909society to learn more. Through the 1909 Society, donor generosity ensures Louisville Athletics is positioned not just to adapt, but to thrive in the rapidly changing college athletics landscape. Join today and be part of the legacy. Visit gocards.com/1909society to learn more.
Defining a new era in men's health, Gameday Men's Health delivers real results with no shortcuts. From testosterone replacement, weight loss to peptides, vitamins, and sexual performance therapy, Gameday Men's Health will have you covered. Their in-house lab gives you answers in just 15 minutes, and our clinic is designed for men who value privacy, speed, and results. Visit GamedayMensHealth.com. Real men, real science, most importantly, real change. Visit GamedayMensHealth.com.
I spend my days teaching 5th graders that big things are built one step at a time.
And at home, we're living that lesson. I'm Kevin Miles.
I'm Rachel, wife, teacher, and we're getting ready to welcome our baby boy.
We can't wait. We're practicing being big siblings.
Crawlspace Medic is our family business, built on one simple belief. Your home should feel safe, comfortable, and healthy for the people you love most.
Crawlspace Medic, a healthy home starts from the ground up. You can find us at crawlspacemedic.com.
Options. When it comes to insurance, that's exactly what you deserve. I'm Chad Hennessy with InsureMax, and I've been proudly serving the Louisville area for over 25 years. As an independent agent, we work with Auto Owners Insurance to find coverage that fits you, not the other way around. InsureMax delivers strength, service, and peace of mind through partners like Auto Owners Insurance. More choices, more options. Call me, Chad Hennessy, at 502-479-4085.
When design is key to your landscape project, give Walnut Ridge Landscape and Design a call at 812-288-6691. Walnut Ridge has more experience than any landscape company in the area. Remember, Walnut Ridge Landscape and Design. When design is key to your project and you want the most experienced landscaping company in the area. Give Walnut Ridge a call at 812-288-6691. Walnut Ridge Landscape and Design. When design is key.
Honey Baked Ham in New Albany is the perfect spot for a healthy alternative to fast food. They provide a variety of freshly made sandwiches, as well as salads and delicious soups. And you can dine in or take it to go. They also have many dinner options such as ham, turkey, frozen sides, and desserts, which provide a complete meal. Catering is also available for small groups or large gatherings. Call Honey Baked Ham today, 812-941-9426, or visit them, 3602 North Cape Court, Suite 23 in New Albany.
This Wave Storm Tracking Team forecast is brought to you by Glanz & Buffett Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Comfort you can count on. Service you can trust since 1923.
Here comes another cold front. Surprise, surprise. It brings a chance for showers and thunderstorms later this evening and into the overnight. Temperatures will be back in the upper 60s. Look for highs in the mid to upper 80s on Thursday. We'll see a few clouds, but the storm chance shifts off to our south and east. That means mostly sunny skies by Friday. From the Wave Storm Tracking Team, I'm Kevin Harnett.
This is Kentuckiana's only locally owned sports talk. The Big X, AM 1450 and 96.1 FM, WXVW Jeffersonville.
She gives him loving that his body can handle, but all he can say is, baby, is good to me. One day he goes and takes a glimpse in the mirror, but he doesn't recognize his own face.
Why are you playing Waterfalls, can I ask? Any reason?
Just random.
Just a beat?
Maybe I was just thinking about watching We're the Millers later and thinking about that scene where he raps the whole verse.
Remember the old days where they wouldn't play the rap part on like 99.7?
I don't remember.
You had to
that.
listen to it on 96.5 or 104.3 if you wanted to hear at least the left eye.
I don't. I didn't know they got the whole rap.
Oh yeah, it was too much. TLC, we need a little bit less L. Should have been TC for the Pop 40 radio stations back in the day.
You're a TLC fan?
I mean, I was okay with it. It was never aimed at me, but like No Scrubs wasn't really my thing. But I liked that song. I liked some of the other song that they had back in the day.
I was more earlier TLC, like the
Red Light Special.
Baby,
and it's yours, all yours.
You know, he's got a great video. It's a great song.
It's a great video.
What was the other song?
Unpretty?
Ain't Too Proud. No, Ain't Too
Proud to Beg was
yeah, I think it was
that
like the first one or something. Oh no, What About Your Friends?
Hat to the Back.
Yeah, that was.
Remember that?
That wasn't a single release though, was it?
I mean, it was a song. I assumed that it was a.
I think that was just on the album.
Creep, of course.
Creep was later on.
Creep was huge. No, Creep was early.
Was Creep
was before like the fan mail in '99. Creep was like that was early TLC.
What About Your Friends was their first release single. I remember. I was in like 7th grade when that came out, and I want to say the Red Light Special I know was like my freshman year.
Red Light Special, they had like songs in like 91, 92, which is before my time, and then 94, 95 was the Red Light Special, Creep. That's when they got really big. And
the girl I hung out with she loved that album.
And then fan mail was, I think it was when I was in 8th grade, I want to say, so it was like 99 when No Scrubs and Unpretty and all that. They got huge.
That's when I stopped I was more the earlier stuff, obviously.
Shocker.
Hey, what can I say?
Shocker. We have a little bit of news to kick off the 5 o'clock hour here. Producer Keith brought this to my attention. The NFL has now officially announced, this is via The Athletic actually, that after years of non-competitive play and tweaks, NFL is no longer holding a Pro Bowl. No sort of competition,
no sort of, they've done like a flag game and some skills comps the last few years, but they're no longer doing it. They're just going to have kind of a celebration in Hawaii with just the players who are Pro Bowlers, no alternates anymore, which has also been a thing where, because nobody wants to play in the game, they have like 8 quarterbacks that are Pro Bowlers in both conferences.
Why you can't take someone seriously when someone's bragging about their confidence? Like, he's a 9-time Pro Bowler. It's like,
I agree.
All Pro was the only thing you really paid attention to when you did that.
Well, and now it's become a thing where I think they've recognized that the NFL All Pro team has grown in importance because people are realizing, when quarterbacks 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 don't want to play, it's basically like if you started an NFL season for more than 3/4 of it, you're a Pro Bowler. And that's not the way that it should be.
Well, it took them 22 years to realize that. Okay.
This should have been a move made in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
That's when when Sean Taylor destroyed that poor punter's life, that was the moment where it should have been like, okay, the Pro Bowl's done at this point. We've got to stop doing this. And yet it drug on for another 2 decades.
When Peyton Manning goes on and calls his kicker an idiot in the middle of a national interview.
I had a friend who would, every time we would drink, he would do that entire speech in his Peyton Manning voice, and I laughed. And we would be like, "Do it." He's like, "I'm in Hawaii, sitting next to Hall of Famer. I can't remember what I would love if he came on right now. And you're trying to ask me some questions about my idiot kicker who got liquored up and started talking. It's one of my favorite things of all time. One of my favorites. We're in Hawaii. He's sitting next to Hall of Famer Rob Gronkowski, and you're trying to ask me about my idiot kicker. Oh, it was so
Ron Jaworski, maybe?
I don't know. I don't know who it was, but
I know he was even in the league at that point. But
it was such a great spiel.
It was, but also one of those times the NFL goes, maybe we should stop just sending players.
Yeah,
I mean it's not a good look. Yeah, the Taylor one was probably the biggest. I mean, yeah, it's been just now. It's not. Yeah, like you said, they tried to like spice it up by moving it up, and they're like, oh, if you play the Super Bowl, you don't have to worry about being.
Here it is. We're in Hawaii. I'm out of my 3rd Pro Bowl, about to go in and throw a touchdown to Jerry Rice.
There you go.
Who are honoring the Hall of Fame. And we're talking about an idiot kicker who got liquored up and ran his mouth off. So good.
Was it Mike
Vanderjet?
Yeah. They ended up getting released, but he sucked after that, and he got released.
Yeah.
They brought in Vinatieri.
Well, the next year, I'm just seeing this now on Google, he had a historic, flawless 37 for 37 field goal season the very next year.
Oh, okay. I thought he missed some big kicks or something.
Clearly not. He didn't miss any kicks, period. I'm assuming that was probably like 2 years later or something.
Possibly.
Every kicker starts to lose it at a certain point. Just happens.
Even Justin Tucker sucked his last year.
Yeah.
That blew my mind. I mean, he might be still, to me, this is one of the greatest kickers of all time.
No question.
Only behind David Akers.
Jason Elam's the only person who never lost it.
Never lost it. He never missed a kick, but he sure lost a lot of games.
Never lost it. 502-414-1450 is the Game Day Men's Health text line. We got about 15 minutes left to have your thoughts heard on the radio. Let's get to it. Texas Mike, finish the sentence. This is the most excited I've been for a football season since blank. I think the upside with this team, I think the upside with this team is the highest it's been since Lamar's season of 2017. But I will say, just because we had Jeff and I was so excited about the future, I was very excited about the 23 season. Not necessarily because I thought we were going to go win 10 games and play for a conference championship, but just because it was the ushering in of a new era. And I did think that we had a chance to be pretty good. So I'll say since 23. But I am very excited about this team.
I would go just going into the Tyler Shuck year, yeah. I can't remember that.
That was 24. That was year 2.
That's what I thought it was, yeah. I would say that, yeah.
I was excited for that year, too. I think this team can be better than that team overall.
I'm more excited for this team than I am last year's because I had less confidence going in with Miller Moss than I do with this. But
same.
I still had excitement, yeah.
He says, for me, I've got to say 2017, having Lamar back after his Heisman year, was super excited for Brom's first year as well, but my expectations were tempered then compared to now. Is there a part of you, as we get closer and closer to game 1, it's starting to really set in with me that we have a quarterback that we've never really seen play. And I'm just like, what if we go out there and first game, like, he just can't throw a 10-yard out? I mean, we've seen practice clips and stuff.
I mean, we can't do that. I assume he wouldn't even start. I would hope.
You would hope so, right? Especially since we've heard and we've seen the backup quarterbacks enough to know that they're pretty good. But there is a part of it just like, what if he gets the yips? He's never started a game. What if he goes out there first drive in Nashville against a top 10 team and he just sucks? And then we're like, okay, we should have been more concerned about this. It's at least a potential fear, right?
It's funny you say it because I don't know if you ever went back and watched that road show AC thing they did on Louisville, which again you're not missing a lot. But one thing it did make me slap a little bit, and you just made me reminded me of it, was when they were doing like the beginning of the show. They were doing like the little preview of the graphic. They're like, we're going to talk to Isaac Brown, and it showed Isaac Brown with his like some of his stat highlights from last year, and they go, and we'll also be having the new guy with the mystery, but he's taking over his first time as a starter. He can bring legs to the thing. Lincoln Keels. And as he's saying it, the graphic goes, QB battle for Louisville starter. Lincoln Keels versus the guy from West Georgia. And I'm like, I don't think they know that. The graphics department clearly did not pass a note to this poor guy because he's at the very end, he goes, and we've heard the guy from West Georgia could be a threat. And then it goes on and moves on. But
a little bit of breaking news here. A little bit of breaking news. The another win for the NCAA in court.
Ooh,
now,
they're getting hot, aren't
the
they?
Tennessee Court of Appeals has stayed the injunction that was previously granted to the plaintiffs that were pending appeal. That includes a handful of pretty big names in college basketball that are now ineligible unless the Court of Appeals ultimately rules in their favor. A.J. Storr is now ineligible, who had, I think, where did he just go? Ole Miss? From Ole Miss?
He was on his ninth school in 9 years.
Yeah, B.J. Edwards, who was so good for SMU last year, who I think was going to go play for, where was he going to go? Indiana? Somewhere decent. Shendell Weaver and Sam Alexis are other notable names that are involved in this case. So yet another win for the NCAA. Like I said, this is, you were talking about the confidence level with regards to Trimble being able to suit up for Louisville. Momentum seems to be swinging sort of back to the NCAA side now. Not only are you having conferences that are stepping up and trying to prevent the craziest of sequences from happening, but you've got some judges who are now saying, like, yeah, no, we're granting the NCAA stay. So this is potentially a temporary one, but as of right now, it is a victory, and those players, for the time being, are ineligible to play in college basketball this season. Texter says, an Ohio guy, says, can you ask Red Rocks guy if he could hook me up with a free front row ticket to see Bryson Tiller in concert this Saturday? Is Tiller at Red Rocks?
No idea. I'm not really familiar with who Bryson Tiller is.
Well, he's a major artist from Louisville.
I thought he was a guard.
He is. He plays for Kansas, but he's also, you don't know, Bryson Tiller's from Louisville.
Is he? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Is he country?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
He is playing at Red Rocks on Saturday. Good for him.
What does he play?
Kind of like neo soul. He had he's up for Grammy for Album of the Year a few years ago. He's a big deal. Texter says Browns fans should get a redo. Why? No. Texas Dolphins guy again. Mike, you convinced me to stick with my team when I originally posed the question a while ago. I'm glad you did. I look forward to that sweet, sweet success 30 years from now when we finally bounce back from the repercussions of Chris Greer.
You're joking a little bit, Dolphins fan, but I promise you, when you all win a Super Bowl in like 10 years or something, it will feel so much gratifying and satisfaction more than if you drop the team.
Everyone gets, even if you don't win a Super Bowl, everyone has a window in the NFL where they become relevant, and it feels like a Super Bowl is at least possible. And I'm saying that as a Lions fan who finally had that happen for the first time in my life, and who hopefully is not now seeing that window close. I think this year is going to kind of determine that. But yeah, like if I had switched up teams temporarily in the mid-2000s or the late 90s, us winning that playoff game 2 years ago would have just, it wouldn't have felt nearly as sweet as it did. Like It was an earned moment.
I spent 24, 25 years thinking I'll never see an Eagles Super Bowl, and I've seen two now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
It feels sweeter than if you'd been a Cowboys fan in the 90s. You know?
That's what makes it feel sweet watching them suck for the last 25 years, 30 years, too.
Texas says, I don't understand how players can just transfer when classes have started.
Oh, they don't take classes.
I know class is an archaic concept, but do players just decide to join the fall semester whenever they want? Have Trimble and the other two fifth-year guys even enrolled at U of L in preparation of being eligible? Yes, you have to be enrolled in school. This is also bizarre. Maybe the NCAA doesn't have standards, but you figure that at least the players have to be enrolled to play. They do have to be enrolled in school at the proper time frame, and then
I think most schools take like late transfers. They have a window that's open to 3 or 4 weeks into the semester. And so for a guy like Trimble, even before he gets to U of L, because obviously his circumstances are uncertain, he's enrolled in classes. I'm sure it's just online class or two. And for a lot of those online classes, if we're being honest, you don't have to turn in anything until like the end of the semester. So you don't really have to do anything right now.
Well, at least he's coming from North Carolina. That's in his wheelhouse.
That's well done.
Thank you. I mean, we've got to the point where we just kind of quit, like, actually thinking they're taking classes and taking it seriously, right?
Yeah.
I mean, hell, Michigan doesn't even make their real students take classes half the time and give real grades. Why should we make the student athletes do it?
You're not wrong. Nobody's playing school anymore, to quote Cardell Jones. Texas says, Mike, I'm not from Louisville, so I didn't understand the Lakeside hype. We took our 1-year-old as guests of some friends that just moved to the area and are proximity members. I get it. We need it. Any tips on how to get sponsored next cycle?
Is he trying to get? He's trying to get. He needs your help getting in the club.
Look, man. Here's what I'll say as a Lakeside insider.
You must have a Rolex.
No. If you have to ask, you'll never know.
What would you do if I applied for Lakeside?
I mean, you can't apply. The only way that you can get in is if you live in the area, which my brother lives on the street, or somebody sponsors you. And yeah, I'm a Nepo Lakeside guy. My brother, after years of my wife begging, has finally sponsored us like 3 years ago. I think you get one sponsorship a year.
Will you sponsor me?
No.
Could you at least?
Well, I don't think we get to sponsor people. You've got to like it's the people that live in the area that sponsor people.
For the record, could you at least pause before you say it next time?
No, I mean you're not allowed to go. All you do is rip on Lakeside.
I don't rip on it. I just wish I could visit it.
You're not allowed to go.
It's my utopia.
You're handling it the wrong way.
It's my Graceland.
It's not.
I just want to.
You have to be around people.
I can be around people.
Can you? Okay.
Does it? What kind of food does the club offer?
It is cheap. I mean, it's standard concessions food. The ice cream's soft serve. It's good. I always get a swirl cone. It's delicious. Scoots Hater says Tim Curry was in one episode of Psych, a show that neither of you have watched. That's a perfect text for the show. It's just such a Trevor comment. Yeah, he was actually in an episode of Psych. I know you guys haven't seen it, but I'm just saying it anyway.
Oh, well, he was only in one episode of Monk, too, and he played Dale the Whale. He did the one episode, then they replaced him with somebody else.
STL Cody Guy says, did you skip my text? No. Have either one of you watched the video from Kyle Singler? If not, check it out. We got it.
We've seen it, yeah.
Speedy Tom says, Dan Sennard says, Herbert greater than Lamar, never forget. This is where a lot of my Justin Herbert disdain comes from.
So it has nothing to do with Herbert at all, right?
Well, no, I do get annoyed, but we made a bet because Danny's the most annoying about Justin Herbert, and he knocks on Lamar all the time. So he was like, Herbert's going to win a Super Bowl before Lamar. And there's no guarantee that either one ever wins the Super Bowl, period.
Exactly.
But we made this bet, I think, 3 years ago. I was like, okay, if Lamar wins the Super Bowl first, I get $100. If Herbert wins the Super Bowl first, you get $100. He's double dipping because 2 of our friends have taken the bet on Lamar's side.
You just said you bet $100. I mean,
what?
You just defined that too long. Go on.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Thanks for making it even longer by interrupting and interjecting. But Danny is annoying about it. He's like, Harbs has Herbert rolling, and he fails to recognize that Herbert sucks and Lamar's awesome. So, yeah, it pisses me off.
Well, Danny was a Louisville guy.
He is. He used to be.
Well, I was going to say, how is...
Texas said, I've got no affinity for the Chargers, but I do need to remind Mike that Herbert lost both starting tackles. Here we go! There's never been a football player that's had more excuses than Justin Herbert. This season, this year is definitely a prove it, but he would start for 20 teams, no doubt. This has been the exact same thing the last 2 years. Last year it was, well, this season, if he can't do it with Harbaugh and the players they went out and got, then it's, and in the year before, this is the time to prove that he's taken a step forward. We do this every year with this guy. Meanwhile, if Lamar has a kicker miss a chip shot field goal that would have gotten him into the playoffs after he scores 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, he sucks and he's the worst thing ever and he's got no... We hold Justin Herbert to a different standard than everybody else in the league.
When did Zay Flowers have fumbled the ball at the 1 or something in the one play?
I mean, Zay Flowers fumble. You had Mark Andrews dropping the 2-point conversion the year before. You had the kicker missing the chip shot last year. Every year, but it's his fault. And then Justin Herbert, if somebody looks at him the wrong way and he cries, it's like, well, that guy's being mean to him. So however he played the rest of the game just doesn't count.
Dude, who's a big Charger fan?
I don't care.
Dalton Pence.
CCBM tuba guy says it's actually my second year, and drumline is all right. Good storyline with a lot of terrible music inaccuracies.
I just always ask that because TJ Walker hates drumline with a passion.
I don't like drumline.
He just gets so angry when you talk about drumline, so I just like to get other people's opinions.
See, watching drumline with CCBM tuba guy would be like watching any sort of
sports movie with me.
No, movie involving airplanes with my dad, because like CCBM tuba is like music inaccurate. That's not happening. I remember watching Top Gun as a kid for the first time with my dad, who flew planes in the Navy.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, "Well, that would never happen. No, that's totally. You'd be dead." I'm like, "Dad, shut up! I'm 9 and I'm trying to watch Tom Cruise like fly a plane and look cool. It's ridiculous. Anytime there's a plane involved in a movie or a film or a TV show, my dad's like, nope. And I'm like,
Can he watch the movie Airplane?
Yes, he loves Airplane.
Okay, because I love Airplane too.
Texas, I'm not a big comedy guy, but Cam Patterson from SNL is coming to Louisville in October. I mean, Cam Patterson is one of the guys. I don't think he works well on SNL, but I've heard his stand-up is great.
I don't know who he is.
You don't have to say. We all assume that you don't know who it is. It's
You
fine.
shouldn't assume that.
You don't know who anybody who does anything after 1999 is.
Well, you don't know anybody before 2008.
Yes, I do.
You didn't know Tim Curry.
I do know Tim Curry. I just had to see him. We just talked about TLC.
And maybe I know who this guy is. I just have to see him.
But you don't.
You don't. Maybe I recognize him.
He sucks anyway. You know who Bryson Tiller was?
I swear I thought it was the guard from Providence.
No, he plays for Kansas right now.
No, it's a Kansas. Didn't he play Providence?
No.
Who the hell went to Providence? Go on. Read the next one.
I don't know. Texas, I know the kids aren't to blame for all of this, but at this point, bleep these kids.
Oh.
You've got 4 years to play in college, and after that, you're just as much of a greedy a-hole as the executives involved in all this, screwing over all the incoming freshmen, screwing over all the sophomores who waited their turn just to stay in college for 20 years like a bleeping loser. Get them all out.
Problem with that argument is that those freshmen and sophomores are getting paid too, by the way.
Yeah. This is also one of those where I would love to agree with you, but I think we have to do a better job of placing ourselves in somebody else's shoes, which I know is very tough to do all the time. We all want college sports to go back to normal, but if you were 23 years old and you had the opportunity between, maybe going pro in something other than sports or playing for a decent but not exorbitant amount of money in Europe, or going back to college and making $2 million a year to play college basketball, we all would choose $2 million than playing in college. Every single one of them.
There was a time where we would choose staying in college without the
with no money. Yeah, absolutely.
Because of the life you can live.
Yeah.
And now you're giving me that life plus $2 million?
Yes. I can't fault the kids for trying.
Can't either.
As much as I would love to say that I would have the decency to be like, oh, the rest of the sporting public doesn't want me to do this, I'll abide by their wishes and do the humble thing and go work as an accountant for $50,000 a year. I would absolutely try to play in college for as long as I could.
Now I can be a hater and be like, they shouldn't get it.
Right.
But yeah, I would take it. I'd take it right now.
Texas says, has Chris the Plumber canceled Jelly Roll yet? We'll have to ask him.
I know who that is.
There you go. He was on. Did you know what he was doing?
He was on Kim when he made a lame trumpet.
There you go.
Yes.
It was a pretty good joke.
It wasn't.
Texas, wasn't Lamar's first pass of the card intercepted? Yes, against Auburn. Very first game, they ran a trick play. Got picked off.
That's
Same
right.
as Teddy.
Yeah.
Texas says, what you guys are forgetting is the SEC has no internal transfer within the conference rule. Mitchell is going to have to play in a different conference. Everybody keeps saying this. They've been doing interconference transfers for the last several years. Ohio guy says, I think the real reason why Trevor did not take his laptop to cover U of L games is because his screen was covered in dust and had 20 open tabs of Pornhub.
While those two things are true, I was still taking it, but I just didn't like carrying it.
There was a guy in law school who said, like in front of me, he had the disaster scenario happen where he opened his laptop before class.
Started playing.
Last night's porn was up there. I mean, nothing played, like nothing was loud, but everybody who sat behind him could see it.
I don't get that. When I'm finished, I just close the tab.
Sometimes people are they're so embarrassed with themselves that they just shut it in disgust.
I can't. No, I've never been that bad.
Texter says, friendly reminder that the Twin Towers were still standing the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game. It's too late for me, but Dolphins guy, run while you can. Don't worry about the Finns winning when you leave because it's never going to happen until Steve Ross is 6 feet under. Texter says,
That's having a bad owner.
The double standard for Lamar and Justin Herbert is literally just racism. Don't disagree. Dave says, I love Psych and Monk. Great references today. Now do White Collar.
What's white collar?
Is that a US? I just like USA shows in general. I've never watched Psych, but I kind of want to.
Texas says we have a top 10 matchup next weekend against Ole Miss, and all everyone wants to talk about is Trimble and basketball. That's disgusting. I guess it's too soon to talk bleep about Ole Miss.
No.
There's a lot. I mean, this is an abnormal situation happening in the world of sports. Like, in a normal year, yes, we'd be overly focused. We have plenty of time to talk about Ole Miss.
We're going to talk smack on Ole Miss all next week, right?
We spent a full segment talking about whether or not I should burn my neighbor's flag and whether or not it'd be worth getting arrested for.
Not we. That was my suggestion.
We had some hate out there. We had that out there. Quickly, we got to pick a game tonight in the world of sports, brought to you by Chad Hennessy with InsureMax, proudly serving the Louisville area for over 25 years. Call Chad Hennessy at InsureMax today, 502-479-4085. By the way, last night the Ohio Little League team did triumph over New Jersey 6-2, so we were both correct.
I was like, Kansas, this is the farthest they've been since 1998, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, they're 3-1. They play Japan, I think, tonight or tomorrow.
I feel like that's going to – although I saw Japan got hammered by Curacao earlier this year, so maybe they're not the behemoth they used to be. But shout out to Hamilton, Ohio. They made us both winners in the pick. Tonight we've got – do we want to do Little League World Series again, or do we want to do – I'll give you the pick. Men's college soccer, MLB, or Little League World Series?
I'm going Little League World Series.
Okay. All right. We've got
back to the kids.
All right. We're going back to Hamilton, Ohio now. They're in the money spot again tonight. The spotlight game it's an elimination game between Alabama and Ohio at 7 o'clock on ESPN. Who's advancing? Trevor Kelsey.
Huntsville, Alabama's football team had their glory in the sun this last week with getting their first win in since, 2015, I think it was. So Alabama is done. Ohio is taking them out in Little League.
I got the Bama boys. Give me the Bama. I'm rooting for Ohio. Give me the Bama.
Hope the coach doesn't show up drunk to check out the game.
You almost got there.
I was trying to scouting. That's the word I was looking for.
It was the proper route to go. It was just terrible execution. That's fine.
That's not the first
That's
time
what the
I've been
show.
told that.
That's what the show does, and that's how we're going to end today. We're back tomorrow at 2:30. Until then, go Cards.